Hi, this is Bob Pockris, and late breaking news from the Kansas Speedway Garage. Multiple sources are telling me that three very proud and great NASCAR Fox mothers are hosting today's race day show. My reports are telling me that Caitlin Vincey, Shannon Spake, and Jamie Little, they're ready to go. All that's left to do is to roll that opening tease and, of course, tell everyone, Happy Mother's Day.
Here we go. Turn in. Coming in hot. Ready.
NASCAR has come to Kansas.
No.
A trip to the Sunflower State and a Saturday night under the bright lights of the Midwest.
Have a good night, guys. Let's bring it home today.
And you know things can get pretty intense around here when the sun goes down. With the season in full swing and the standings starting to heat up,
Let's go.
this could really be anyone's race for the taking.
Take it easy.
So who's going to step up and take it to the next level?
Just gotta keep running here.
One of the sport's up-and-coming drivers? Or will another big name reign supreme?
Good looking bunch down there.
Only one way to find out as we go racing here in Kansas. But just one thing.
Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. I love you. I love you, Mommy.
Hey, Caitlin. Happy Mother's Day to you, and we can't wait to spend it with you tomorrow.
Hi, Mom. We love you. Happy Mother's Day.
All right, now I don't even know how I'm going to get through this scene set because that was just the cutest thing that I've ever seen. Thank you so much to everyone here at FS1, Bob Pockris for setting us up, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We're going to get you ready for racing out at Kansas. Whether you want checkered flags or roses, we've got it all right here, 400 miles night racing out of the Kansas Motor Speedway. Hey, everyone, welcome in to our Race Hub studios and welcome to Race Day. I am Shannon Spake. We are sponsored by Coca-Cola Orange Vanilla, and as we just mentioned, it's a very special show. Larry McReynolds, Jamie McMurray, they're here every week, right? So they're going to hang out for just a second, but Caitlin Vincey is in studio with us today. As you see, Jamie Little is out at Kansas. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Happy Mother's Day to you. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And I do have to show the bracelet that my children got me. They wanted me to wear it on set today. And as I mentioned, Jamie Little out there at Kansas. Jamie, happy Mother's Day. We're going to have you kick things off.
Thank you, Shannon. Happy Mother's Day to you and Caitlin. And oh my gosh, yes, I'm like you, the chills seeing my kids on TV. But it is so special. I wouldn't want to be any other place than right here at the racetrack with you guys. But a lot to talk about. This race, there's a lot of buildup about it. What do you guys expect from tonight?
Well, first of all, happy Mother's Day to all the moms, and it's great to have you hosting with us today. You know, I don't think anybody knows what to anticipate. I talked to a lot of drivers, and they were all scratching their heads going, I have no idea. But I do know what I hope I see, and that's what we saw in practice. 3 wide, 2 wide, a groove up top, groove on the bottom, drafting, side drafting. It was pretty exciting. I'd like to see some of that tonight.
And Jamie, I saw a lot of optimism. These drivers all thought this package really suited this racetrack well. It's wide. It's got a lot of options. You can go high, you can go low. Handling is a key factor. Being able to run the car wide open. How's it going to be in traffic? A lot of unknowns, but a lot of really guys that were optimistic that it was going to be a great race tonight.
Yeah, and the crew chiefs, people that I talked to, they said right now the way that the temperature is, by the way, 56 degrees and dropping, this is perfect and optimal for this new package. So we can't wait.
Yeah.
Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, we can't wait either. But let's go ahead and take a look at the starting grid. You see Kevin Harvick there on the pole, his teammate Clint Boyer starting on the front row. But an eventful day for so many teams already out at Kansas with inspection issues, a number of them failing, having to drop down through the field. You see some of the names there. The Stewart-Haas Racing guys, Eric Almirola, Daniel Suarez, Martin Truex Jr. also among them.
Yeah, once again, inspection, a very busy place out there today. And, you know, many pegged SHR, Stewart-Haas Racing, as the team to watch this weekend. I think all 4 of their drivers were favorites, and you see 2 of those now have to drop to the back. So how does that, Larry, change who the favorites might be in tonight's race?
Well, I still will continue to watch the driver that's won more races than any driver in 2019. Kyle Busch has been to victory lane 3 times. Now, in the beginning, Kansas was not so good to him. He finally got his win there 3 years ago. He's sitting actually on 8 consecutive top 10 finishes at Kansas. But the reason I'm watching him, if he can finish finish in the top 10 tonight, he will start the season with 12 consecutive top 10 finishes. No driver in the history of NASCAR has ever accomplished that.
I want to point out last week, Larry said he wasn't going to continue that top 10 streak, and he has, so he could make history today.
He's got a memory on him,
Good
huh?
memory today.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, when I look at tonight, having to go to the back is not that big a deal for these drivers, because when they developed this package, it was for a track like Kansas that's multiple grooves, not a lot of tire fall off, and Jeff Gordon said that in the pre-race. When we listened or watched the practice yesterday, there was a lot of passing 2 and 3 wide, so I think having to go to the back last weekend in Dover was a big deal. It's not going to be a big deal this weekend.
And guys, I also want to mention today we are racing with heavy hearts after learning yesterday of the passing of Mike Mittler, longtime team owner in the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series. Jamie, I know you had a personal relationship with him.
Yeah, it's so sad to hear about that yesterday. Mike gave me my big break in NASCAR in the Truck Series back in the late 90s, early 2000s. He's going to be missed by so many. I talked to his wife last night, and we were talking. She's like, you know, Mike loved racing more than anything in the whole world, and he helped so many people in our sport, and I loved seeing on social media. There's my post that I made last night. Justin Allgaier, I saw all these guys posting these photos of Mike giving them their opportunity, so he's going to be missed by all of us.
Thank you for sharing that, and of course our love and prayers go out to the Mittler family 100%. So we have a lot coming up. Obviously, Kansas racing out there, second night race of the season. You see Denny Hamlin there. He's already won this year, looking to get back to victory lane tonight. We'll be right back.
Kansas Speedway, we're in the garage area. My buddy Andrew McCutcheon's here. I'm going to make you my pit reporter. What do you think about this opportunity? I got your back.
I know what you just said. Is it always going to be this loud?
Yeah, real loud.
All right, let's do it. Wait. Look at number 22. Yeah, I like that. What I got to do to get one of these suits, man?
I mean, just ask. I'll get you one. We got a couple extras in there.
I want one.
Let's go.
I'm going to wear it, too. I'm going to wear it to the ballpark. Oh, yeah, I'm going to rock it.
I know him.
I don't believe you.
Hi, Jimmy. Bye, Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy. Bye, Jimmy. I picked you guys NL East. I got you.
And maybe I got him winning today.
That's good. I like that. You're good at picking good guys.
Oh, yeah, so yeah, watch out, look out for that. Hey, man, I won't hold you up. Know you got things to do.
All good. It's just practice. Like Allen Iverson said.
Talking about practice, man.
Just talking about practice.
Practice.
I know Clint Boyer. I'll introduce you to him. He's a really fun guy.
Okay, that's cool, but I thought you knew Denny Hamlin, too.
Well, how about Mo Ruiz? You gonna watch him whoop up on them Phillies tonight? Huh?
Who?
Huh?
Who?
Yeah, baby. It's happening tonight.
Who? And here comes Clint Boyer, Kansas City Royals fan. All right, this car is cool, though.
How's it hang out with Mike? He's an interesting guy. How are you liking that?
Yeah. He scared me a little bit. I'm just trying to get away. I really would just like to hang out with you for the rest of the day because he really is scaring me. So,
What are y'all talking about?
we were just talking about positive energy and feeling, really good.
And how much we enjoy you, your company.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get a word with Chase real quick. Hey, what's going on, Chase? They got his window rolled up today.
That's about the Little League World Series.
Oh, shoot, I forgot about this. So somebody told me he was in the Little League World Series once.
All right, so I wasn't. My brother, Austin, who's around here somewhere.
Somebody said you was in it.
Bad information.
We gonna back it up.
I slid down the hill while my brother played.
That's fine. That's more fun anyway.
Yeah.
My dear Coach, I've never been prouder, man. This is beautiful.
Appreciate that. I learned from the best. Kurt Busch.
Watch how a professional wraps things up.
Right, I got it. This is Andrew McCutcheon, report from Kansas Speedway. Back to you guys.
It's time for McDonald's Golden Moment, and this week there is no better choice than Martin Truex Jr.'s win in Dover on Monday. It was his third win at the track, and he got to take home the 50th edition Miles the Monster Trophy. And there you're seeing Martin Truex Jr., the big winner earlier this week. Jamie, what would you say of his performance as of late?
Well, he's going to go to the back just like he did last weekend at Dover, but that clearly did not hurt him because he ended up winning the race. And they've won 2 of the last 3, and I think when you look at he and Cole Pearn making that move over to JGR, it has not taken them long to pick up right where they left off last year.
No, it hasn't. Of course, multiple wins on the season could be a big night for them. Take a look at Bubba Wallace right there. An emotional day on Friday, a very brave day as well, as he shared his battle with depression with the media.
Yeah, he's going to start 7th, his best start of 2019. What I would say to Bubba, don't get down. You can drive a race car. You've won races in the Truck Series. You got a lot of people pulling for you and supporting you.
Yes, Bubba, we are certainly thinking about you 100%. All right, we are ready. Alex Bowman's ready, too. Second place finishes the last 2 weeks. Drivers are ready. Fans are ready. We are ready. It is time now to go and pray, sing, and fly down there at Kansas. We're going to get you trackside for opening ceremonies right now. There's Kyle Busch and his family. Let's get you down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you rise and remove your hats as the Overland Park Police Department Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as Father Brian Schieber offers tonight's invocation.
Lord, we pause to remember our friend Mike Mittler, who passed away Friday. His passion for NASCAR and the Gander Truck Series jump-started many careers, and his friendship touched us all. Heavenly Father, may this race remind us that life is a race, not a race for a perishable crown, but the imperishable crown of eternal glory, won for us by Christ Jesus. May we never grow weary of running the race. Watch over us all, bless us, especially our mothers this weekend, and protect us, especially our drivers tonight. You live and reign forever and ever.
Here tonight to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome retired Navy veteran Stephen Powell.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we'd hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we'd watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land and of the free and long of the
Pre-race ceremonies are complete, and we are one step closer to going green at Kansas Speedway for race 12 of the year. More race day right here on FS1.
All right, look, team, we're under 30 days until the Women's World Cup on Fox. So I thought we ought to do some drills. We got to get ready. First rule is you can't have your hands on the ball. Oh, nice save. Oh, man. You know, in soccer, all the great players only have one name. Go Yoakum. Go Little. And go Regan Smith. Oh, damn, keep in the boat, in the box, in there.
official tire of NASCAR.
I love how he said, go Regan Smith, right? That's not one name. Time now for the right combination, sponsored by Coca-Cola Orange Vanilla. Jamie Mack, who you got?
The Coke right combination tonight's Kyle Larson and the track Kansas Speedway. Kyle ran top 5 in both of these races last year, and he led 101 laps in the first race. Another thing important to Kansas, you got to be able to run against the wall, and Kyle Larson is as good as anybody in our sport at doing that. So tonight, Kyle Larson and Kansas Speedway are the right combination.
Kyle Larson has got a little bit of an uphill climb, though, as he's one of the guys have to go back in the field. 35th is where he'll roll off.
But he will be high, wide, and handsome. I promise you. As soon as they drop that green flag.
You love that. There's going to be a lot of guys that are in the back of the field that are going to be moving their way.
He'll have a lot of friends back there to try to move to the front with.
Absolutely. This guy's still looking for his first win on the season as well, and we're thinking that he might be one of the first guys to break through and do it for Chevy, right?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Kurt Busch at the beginning of the year. He was the guy with the most top 5s at the beginning of the season, and he runs well at all of these tracks, so don't be surprised to see Kurt Busch have a great night.
What about this one? Let's get him a victory.
It'd be a big party if he wins. We know that.
In his home track, we would be partying till after the green flag of the All-Star race next week.
I love it. I think he did say it's the best car that he's had at Kansas. So you know what time it is right now, right?
What time?
It's time to fire them up. Let's go down to Kansas. 4 gentlemen, start your engines and get this race started.
Race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, former Kansas City Chief Hall of Famer, the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye, and Kansas City Chief Hall of Famer and 2-time Super Bowl champion, Neil Smith.
Drivers, start your engines!
Racing at Kansas City is much like the area's renowned barbecue. A crowd will gather when it's done right. Kevin Harvick is a bona fide pitmaster with 3 Kansas wins. Jimmy Johnson is the mile-and-a-half master, and therein lies the rub for the rest of the field. Martin Truex Jr. is stoking the coals for a championship run. It's a backyard party for Kansas native Clint Boyer. Chase Elliott has the chops to win here, but Hendrick's Alex Bowman wants his turn at the grill. We're a brisket toss away from the barbecue capital of the world, Kansas City. Now let's fire up the grill.
Daytime to nighttime 400-mile race in Kansas.
This is going to be fun. It's go time.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go Saturday night racing, boys.
Kevin Harvick wins in Kansas. Fox Sports presents the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series on FS1 from Kansas Speedway. It is a beautiful day, about 40 miles west of here. That's coming this way. But here we have a heavy cloud cover. Temperature dropping at 56 degrees, track temp 63. Going to get cooler as the evening goes on, but we're ready for what we expect will be a great race with a topsy-turvy starting grid. 11 cars from every major team, every major multi-car team except Roush Fenway had at least 1 car and some 2 to move to the rear. So Darrell Waltrip, going to be a big crowd back there for the start.
It really is, but you know, I think it's the same song, second verse. Remember what happened last week. Martin Truex went to the rear. From the rear, he came to the front. He won by 9 seconds. I talked to Martin. He says, my car is as good as it was last week. Keep an eye on Martin Truex.
And at this time a year ago, Kevin Harvick already had 4 wins under his belt. He's the most dominant driver in the Cup Series, but it's not been that kind of year for Kevin Harvick in 2019 so far. But this weekend here at Kansas, he's dominated practice. He won the pole, and I think he might just do what he did a year ago, just go to victory from the pole. Larry.
Yeah, the crew chiefs tonight, they're on a little bit of a razor blade because these cars are going to drive very different by themselves versus in traffic. What I need is that feedback. What is it like by yourself? I'll make those adjustments. You're going to have to make the adjustments in traffic, Mike.
Thanks, Larry. They've completed the first pace lap, and your starting grid will roll across the bottom of the page. Let's go right to the front row.
Yeah, let's talk to our post hitter. Hey, Kevin Harvick, it's DW and the boys. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, look at here. You got the fastest car. You're on the pole. You won this race last year from the pole. How good are you tonight, and can you take it to the house?
Well, I hope so. You know, our Bushfield Ford has run really well all weekend. I was happy with it in race trip. Obviously, it's got a lot of speed for qualifying. But you never know what's going to happen tonight as this swarm of all these cars gets together and starts pushing and shoving, and strategy and everything that comes into play. But just really proud of everybody from Stewart-Haas Racing and Roush Yates for all the work that they put in to get us where we are tonight. It's been, you know, a little bit off of the mile-and-a-half tracks, and to come here and run like we have so far, they've done a great job.
All right, my friend. Well, you're the best pusher and shover I know of, so good luck.
All right, old buddy.
Kevin Harvick will start from the pole with his Stewart-Haas teammate Clint Bowyer alongside. A little chilly down there on pit road. Matt Yoakum.
Mike, Stewart-Haas Racing still winless in 2019, but they showed up to play, judging from both practice and qualifying. In fact, I talked to Clint Bowyer on the grid. His mood impressively relaxed, and he felt like tonight could be the night he breaks through with his first win here at Kansas. But Mike Bagaravich told me that he just isn't sure what to expect. He thinks his biggest challenge will be track position. But like Harvick said, it could be pack racing. We're just not really sure what we're going to see, but it should be exciting. Jamie?
Well, it's been a nice turnaround for the 88 team the last 2 weeks. He finished second out of Super Speedway, second out of 1 Mile Oval at Dover last week. But this could be the ultimate test to see where this team stacks up. Crew Chief Greg Ives told me they have been focusing on the mile-and-a-halves because this has been their Achilles heel over the last 2 years. They unloaded with really good speed. This 88 team, they're fired up. They even got the wall in practice. It didn't slow him down. He rolls off fifth tonight. Regan?
Well, Jamie, Martin Truex Jr. has absolutely been on fire the past couple weeks, winning 2 of the last 3 races we've been to, including Dover last week, where he had to come from the back, much like we talked about earlier in the show. He's going to have to do tonight. The difference is he's going to have to come from the back with a worse pit stall. All of the cars that failed tech have been grouped together, which means many of the fast race cars going to the back are pitted around each other. Cole Pearn's biggest concern tonight is the fact that he's got fast race cars and Eric Almirola, as well as Joey Logano, pitted around him this week, much unlike last week. Look for that to be something that these teams all have to worry about as this race plays out. Mike?
Thanks, Regan. Here are the drivers who failed inspection. Now, they don't go to the rear. Their qualifying time is disallowed, so everybody moves up in the order. The new starting grid is produced. So their official starting positions, based on owner points, are 30th on back. Tonight in Kansas, we'll go 400 miles, 3 stages, of course. Stage 1 and 2, 80 laps each. The final stage, 107. 45 miles an hour down pit road, and 58 to 62 laps is the fuel window. Grip level on this recently repaved track, 4 out of 5, and a competition caution coming at lap 30.
Well, we're not to lap 30 yet. Get ready to take the green flag. This should be a fun race. I really look forward to tonight, Mike and Jeff. I think it's going to be great. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go Saturday night racing. One more time, boys.
Is from the back. Harvick chose the outside, chose well, but they are 3 and 4 wide. Those cars that had inspection issues trying to make it up through. No out of bounds line here.
All over the track. You can use the apron here. It's not out of bounds. You go down and the grass is out of bounds.
Well, we saw a lot of this in practice, 2 and 3 wide racing, and that big spoiler punches such a hole. Those guys that started in the back, some of them were going 10 miles per hour faster down the straightaway when they were drafted.
Daniel Suarez has gained 9 spots. Chase Elliott and Joey Logano 8 apiece. Logano threads the needle through the middle past Daniel Hemrick. and David Reagan.
I tell you, Logano is on it. He has really made some bold moves. A lot of them on the outside. Got him out on a lot of cars.
You sound surprised by that.
He knows on this start, you got to go.
And one thing that's in their favor right now is these are the coolest conditions that they've been in. So those tires ought to have a lot of grip right now to be able to make some of these bold moves.
Logano trying to get around Ryan Preece, who got loose up off turn number 2. Here's David Reagan in the middle.
I don't think Chase Elliott's run a lap yet that wasn't 3 wide.
I think, Mike, that we're going to see this most of the night, particularly on these restarts. At the end of stages, anytime there's a caution restart, these cars are so equal that they have to run several laps before they can get any separation or get away from each other.
To Larry's point, they can go as hard as they can because they know that caution flag is coming at 30 laps. Biggest movers on the lower left, led by Logano.
Yeah, no reason to save anything. No reason to save fuel, save tires, none of that. Just go as hard as you can right now.
Yeah, you might want to save your neck, though, because a lot of these guys have got stuck out there pretty far right now. Passing a lot of cars. That Logano is impressing the heck out of me. He is on the move. There's 4th place. A couple of young guys here going after each other.
Jones, Byron, Menard, and they are joined by Kyle Busch. Stenhouse, and that's Kurt Busch in the black number 1.
Kyle was real happy with his car. I talked to him down there at the driver introduction. He said, I got a pretty good car. I feel pretty comfortable for tonight's race.
That is 4th on back. Tight battle.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. thinking about going to the middle there, 3 wide between Kyle Busch. And look what that did. As he goes behind Kyle Busch, almost gives him a big surge of momentum going forward. And Kyle Busch able to go to the inside of William Byron.
The Busch brothers had identical qualifying times to the 1,000th of a second, and they are moving up through the field as if they are teammates, which they most certainly are not.
And no, they're not, Mike. But, you know, I talked to Kevin Harvick and I talked to Clint Boyer down there on the grid, and both guys said, we think we can drive off and lead these guys. Guess what they're doing?
I thought that was really interesting. That might be something we see more of here tonight. Kyle Busch had the momentum, went to the inside of William Byron, but he actually was losing positions because he got stuck down there by himself, and now he's going to get 3 wide with his brother, Kurt Busch, to the bottom. So that side draft is going to stall cars out, so you better make a big slide by Kyle Busch. 3 and 4, 1 and 2 right there. Going to lose even more spots.
Boy,
Here comes Jimmy Johnson.
He was lucky to get that thing up. That was out of control.
It was so close to contact with Alex Bowman there. Kyle gathers it back up. Started 8th, now 11th. Here's another look. Kyle in the middle.
And, you know, that's one of those vulnerable positions with the 17 to Stenhouse on the outside. Just takes a little bit of air off the 18. I think the 18's turning really good, and then he got loose there.
He needed the whole track, chase it all the way up the hill. Good thing that Alex Bowman was able to clear him and give him that extra room, because he needed it.
I just think you're going to, you know, I think Kyle learned a lot right there. You're going to have to be very deliberate in your passing. When you get a run, you've got to slide up in front of that car.
Paul Menard has taken over 4th place. William Byron and Eric Jones side by side right there for 5th.
Well, I'm sure it probably won't be this way all night, but right now the Fords, I mean, there are 4 Fords at the front of the field. The 4, the 14, the 2, and the 21, and they look pretty darn steamy, Mike.
And here's another one coming up through there as Joey Logano goes to the inside of Austin Dillon. Going to make that pass.
I tell you, Logano has passed a lot of race cars on the start of this race.
15 of them, to be exact.
Here goes Kyle Busch. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. If you get that move and you're clear even by an inch, you have to jump up in front of those cars. But you can see Kyle Busch pretty loose. Another wiggle out of him through 1 and 2.
Yeah, he doesn't like the second turn. It looks like it's Achilles heel because he gets real bad loose off that corner.
Alex Bowman right back after him. Jimmy Johnson had a run. He's got to tap the brake. And right there with him, Chris Buescher. 2 cars that said they could run away. Harvick, Boyer trying to hide. Kevin Harvick has led the first 16 laps here in Kansas. from the pole. 11 drivers have started out back, working their way up through the field. They will get a competition caution 14 laps from now. That'll be good news for fellows like Ryan Blaney. Take a look at him last time by in turn 1.
Getting a big push from his teammate Joey Logano. Sails it off into turn 1. Oh, so close to getting into the wall. I heard that a lot out of drivers after practice yesterday, saying how loose their cars were on the entry. So obviously right there, the 12 car Ryan Blaney real loose on entry, and that's going to be tough to fix.
Well, you know, Jeff, I think part of the problem being loose on entry is they're trying to run these corners wide open. So when you're trying to run the corner wide open, you have to have a pretty good handling car to be able to do that. I think that's where Harvick has a slight advantage. He looks like he can run his car wide open more laps than other people can.
Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson fighting for 11th, right where they started. Now, Eric Jones was 4th. He's now been passed by a couple of cars in 6th place.
Loose landing, especially really loose into 3 and Saturday. Really bad when somebody hits up the left rear.
Common complaint. Chase Elliott taking 15th from Austin Dillon. That's where Dillon started. Chase has come from 32nd.
Yeah, Chase got a pretty good race car.
Remember, yesterday in qualifying before inspection, he was in the top 5, I think. So yeah, he's got a fast race car, and he's still showing it here.
Well, Larry, a lot of those drivers, like you said, they're getting all they can get before the competition yellow. 11 laps from now. What kind of adjustments are you looking at?
Yeah, I've been kind of studying the race pace, and it has not slowed down a whole lot, Mike. But considering these drivers are on the tires they qualified on, I think for the most part, everybody will go with 4 fresh tires. But I have to believe right now what the crew chiefs and the engineers are going over is what can we do to tighten that race car up, but not hurt it from the middle out, or maybe not even help the entrance. That's like walking on a tightrope as well, is fixing the entrance, but not hurting the center and the exit.
Thanks, Larry. Let's get out of pit road, and Jamie.
Well, Mike, I have 3 out of the 4 Joe Gibbs cars, and talking to their crew chiefs before the race, they all felt like they unloaded terrible. Actually, the 18 told me they were thrashing to adjust on that race car to get them in the ballpark. By the end of second practice, he felt like they had something to work with, and you saw Kyle get loose earlier. He said he's really tight, and then he snaps loose. The rear end is out of the track, and you know that driver is thinking right now what he needs on this first stop.
Thanks, Jamie. Now, Eric Almirola and Kyle Larson started 33rd and 35th. They're now fighting for 19th. Having made it to the top 20, along with Elliott and Logano.
42. Larson almost ran out of room off of turn 4 with Eric Almirola on the outside. And I really anticipate Eric Almirola being the real threat for Kevin Harvick, his teammate. So I'm anxious to see him get further forward and maybe battle his teammate.
Well, I tell you, that 24 Byron, now he's got a pretty good race car.
He's going somewhere.
He went around Keselowski like Keselowski was tied to a post. Puts William up into 3rd place, and lap times are looking pretty comparable to our leader right now.
And you saw that crossover move of the 2 of Brad Keselowski. You'll see that a lot. I'm pretty sure William Byron, there he goes to the inside. He'll side draft, dump a little air on that rear spoiler. The 2 car try to complete the pass into turn 1.
And they are catching 2nd place Clint Bowyer. Matt?
Mike, Clint Bowyer told me on the grid, I'm no weatherman, but I'm from here. There isn't much wind. It's going to be really cool and grippy tonight, but the track should stay consistent, which will help fine-tuning the race car. Right now, he needs help on exit. The car a little bit free. His spotter suggesting maybe try to run the bottom more down in 1 and 2. That might help your exit down there as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty wild racing going on between the 24 William Byron and the 2 of Brad Keselowski. They just keep swapping it back and forth. That shows you what those drag ducts and that big rear spoiler do to punch a hole in the air.
It's not hurting them, though. They're gaining on Bowyer there right ahead of them. They've gained quite a bit on him, and these two racing each other pretty hard, but they're closing in on Bowyer.
And William Byron chose to do a little bit different strategy there and stay to the quarter panel of the 2 car, Brad Keselowski, and I think this might complete that pass.
Now, see, Mike, right now this is fun. This wouldn't be so much fun if it was later in the evening, later in the race.
Well, is this pretty intense because we're only 4 laps from what we know will be a caution flag?
A lot of this, I give Keselowski a lot of credit. He's probably trying things, seeing what I can figure out for later in the race or what I need to do to my car to make it better when I'm racing somebody like this.
Second, third, fourth on the bottom. Fifth, Paul Menard coming into the picture as well.
Looks like the 14 Clint Bowyer starting to lose the handling a little bit. He's been running that bottom groove, and some cars are starting to run him down. Here's a battle for 7th.
Boy, that's Ricky Stenhouse. He's running 7th. There's Eric Jones, and Stenhouse's car looks pretty racy tonight.
It doesn't sound like, or it doesn't look like the 20 of Eric Jones's car is tightening up any on him to make that car more stable. Here comes Alex Bowman to the outside of Eric Jones.
Stenhouse started 14th. He's picked up 7 spots. And new second place car, William Byron.
Boy, he just drove right up there and drove right by Clint Bowyer.
And see, Keselowski will have a heck of a race. As soon as he can get away from Keselowski, he can go on. But you can race somebody and hold him up a little bit like we saw that. Now he's got second place.
His rise in this sport, we were talking earlier, has just been meteoric. This is the first year that he has spent a second year in any NASCAR division.
Nobody has come up through the ranks faster than William Byron. So I think as he gets more and more experience, more comfort, and the communication continues to build, as here's a battle between third place. Brad Keselowski goes by Clint Bowyer. I just think as he builds that communication with Chad Knaus and that 24 team, they're only going to get better.
What I like about William Byron is his confidence. But it's a quiet confidence. He's not boastful. You can just tell that he's thinking all the time. And he's analyzing things all the time. I like that.
Well, his teammate Chase Elliott has come from 32nd to 14th. There's Chad Knaus, Byron's crew chief. He started 3rd, running 2nd. Joey Logano started 30th. He's up to 22nd. Tracking Jimmy Johnson as in less than a lap we'll have the competition caution because of overnight rain. NASCAR announced in the drivers meeting at lap 30 they'd throw the yellow so teams can check tire wear and work on their cars.
Mike, one thing has changed in his 30 laps. We've seen a lot of cars moving up through the field, but that 4 car, Kevin Harvick's, has been solid as a rock right from the very beginning of the drop of the green flag.
Caution is out. We'll send congrats up to Stafford, Connecticut, where Doug Coby has won the Spring Sizzler for the 4th time on this, its 3rd rainout date.
Wow.
Tough for Mark Arute to get that race in. Glad they finally did. Spring Sizzler.
I think we got a Spring Sizzler happening right here in Kansas.
That's right.
They sizzle a lot of steaks around here, I know that. You know, it's funny. You come to Kansas City, they have New York strips. You go to New York, they got Kansas City strips. What the heck?
It's like when there was that one beer you could only get west of the Mississippi and east of the Mississippi, you had to have it. You always want what you can't have, right?
Eastbound and down, right?
Right now, yes, everybody wants the lead that Kevin Harvick has. He has led every lap so far. First caution of the day, Ross Chastain gets the free pass. And if you watched last night's truck race, what an impressive victory for that young man.
He was doing it last night. And, you know, we talk about steak, but he likes watermelons.
How about the save he had during that race? He's the white truck.
Oh, this win did not come easy. He had to hold on to that. What a great slide. Those trucks got some pretty good side force, and he used every bit of it right there. He goes by Stuart Friesen to take the lead and go on to the win.
I tell you, that kid is a driver. I really would like to see him I'd like to see him in a really good equipment. Like we saw last year when he drove for Ganassi.
Tough for Friesen, who ran out of gas. And here they come to pit road. Regan?
The 2-car Brad Keselowski finds his pit stall. His race car has been too loose in and off of the corners so far. That's what's holding him back. He needs a little bit more stability there. Jamie?
And the 24, William Byron, such a good race car early on, was able to work his way up to 2nd. They were sticking with the plan coming into this race. No adjustments needed, Matt.
And Clint Bowyer said his car was loose, and it was also tight. They've already made a chassis adjustment. Bugger Adams called for an air pressure change as well. He's away. Down on the 4, Harvick said he doesn't want to overstate it, but he doesn't want to understate it. The track much more free than he had expected. He needed a much bigger swing for the longer run expected. He lost a lot of spots on pit road with 2 tires.
Yes, there goes the lead. William Byron is first off pit road.
Look at all those 2 tires coming off pit road.
the order changes just like that.
Ally is proud to partner with Jimmy Johnson and Hendrick Motorsports. Never stop chasing. That's how you do it right.
Monster Energy NASCAR All-Star Race. Next Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
Ready to restart after the competition caution. It'll be William Byron and Clint Boyer on the front row. Here are tonight's Ford Performance track facts. Kevin Harvick won this race a year ago from the pole. That's where he started tonight. He's led 32 laps, but went way back on the pit stop because of a 4-tire change when everybody in front of him took 2. He'll restart 10th. Kansas is the 4th mile-and-a-half track of the season. Ford with 2 mile-and-a-half victories so far this year.
Be interesting to see how these 4 tires do against the 2 tires that everybody in front of Kevin Harvick did.
Going to add a lap before we go green. Gives me a second to congratulate the McReynolds family down in Mooresville, North Carolina, where Mary Kendall graduated University of Georgia. I'm saying that so Alabama fan Larry doesn't have to, but Larry, congratulations to Kendall and your family.
No, thank you. We're very proud of her, and she graduated in 3 years, double major, and she's coming home, going to go to UNC Charlotte to get her master's, so we're very proud, even though she made me put a bumper sticker that said, "I'm a Georgia dad," on the back of my truck. But you know what's happening right now? It's coming off.
Hey, Larry, I got a question for you. All these 2 tires. What do you think about that move? 9 cars that took 2 tires ahead of Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, I'm probably a little surprised, Jeff, because to my point earlier, those were the tires that you started the race on, and now they've got the cycle from qualifying in this cycle. Enough cars did it that it may pay dividends, but I'm anxious to see what 4 sticker tires do. I just think everybody's down that road, Jeff. Track position is king.
Larry, I guess if you're going to try 2 tires, now would be the time.
Yes, it would be, especially if you've got 8 or 9 buddies that tries it with you.
That always helps.
And William Byron does. He will lead the field to the restart on the outside. They added a lap to remove a piece of debris from pit road. And now we're ready to restart. 33 cars on the lead lap.
2 tires worked pretty good last night in that truck race. I think Friesen took 2 tires and looked really good up until he ran out of fuel.
Byron and Boyer, Kurt Busch and Bowman, Jones and Johnson, Newman and Elliott, Dillon and Harvick, Austin Dillon that is, the top 10. Packed infield, a lot of campers in the outfield here, and some hardy, about to be chilly race fans in the grandstand. Here we go.
There you go. Perfect.
I was going to say that William Byron's getting a push from Kurt Busch, but now Kurt Busch is 3 wide. Look at those 4 tires on the 4 car. Kevin Harvick already coming to the front.
No, all those other guys are in his way right now. He's coming up through there, right through the middle.
Whoa, 4 wide going into turn 3.
Those 2 tires worked well for half a lap.
They were good on a restart. That is amazing. You know, to have a car that good, to be able to move through traffic that quick. No tires or 2 tires or whatever, that's pretty impressive.
Well, he's got to get by Kurt Busch here first. It's going to make him work for it.
I think Kevin right now would say, look, I'm happy I got through all those other cars. I'll settle in right here and let them come to me. I think Boyer was another guy, Mike, was glad that was a 30-lap caution because Boyer's car had gone off a little bit. So I think they fixed that car up a little better.
We saw this earlier in the race when Kyle Busch tried to make some moves on the inside, and you get stalled out side by side, and then you lose momentum. That's what happened to Kevin Harvick there a little bit. Now he's able to get by the 88 of Alex Bowman.
He's just got so much more grip in the corner right now. He can go down on the inside and really stick and back in the throttle, and that's what's putting him ahead of these guys.
Harv has gained 6 positions.
Whoa. Little
yikes.
Little shoving and bumping, and saw the 21, maybe even in the 9 of Chase Elliott, 21 of Paul Menard brushing the wall a little bit into turn 1.
And then he came down and took up a lot of racetrack, and Ricky Stenhouse had to pedal it.
Looked like he fishtailed a little bit.
Just seems like it's so easy when you try to make a pass, you get stalled out very easy, and it creates so much momentum from the cars behind you. It's hard to block them.
Brad Keselowski got into teammate Ryan Blaney coming off 4 that time. Here it is on the right.
We already know that Ryan Blaney's been a little bit loose. Ooh, the 2 car gets into his left rear.
You know why he did that? Because the 12 slid up in front of him, broke his momentum, and he wasn't real happy about it, I don't think.
Nah, he's just trying to help him out, but I don't think he
tried to help him out all right.
I don't think he thought it was going to turn him sideways.
Harvick trying for second. I told you the weather was great. 20 miles, 40 miles to the west. Well, now it's here. Sunshine.
Beautiful
on turn 2. Don't think that'll make it any warmer, but it will make things a little brighter for a while.
Paul Menard's got a pretty good race car, Mike. He's running 9th right now. And he was up near the front before that 30-lap mandatory caution came out.
And he's one of those drivers that took 4 tires on pit road, so he's got a fast car and some fresh tires.
Second place for Harvick, passing Kurt Busch. And now, half a second ahead of him is race leader Clint Boyer, his teammate.
Well, things are really wild right here. Suarez, 18 of Kyle Busch, Logano, and Stenhouse. I thought Stenhouse was going to turn the 18 coming by the start-finish line that last lap. See right here, Stenhouse has a great run from the top. Closes in on the 18. 18 goes to block him. Man, that could have been ugly in a hurry.
That UGLY written all over it. But you know, that 22 car, Jeff, also I'm watching him. He came through the field on the initial start, but he doesn't seem to be quite that good on this go-round.
I think his car is pretty good, but to complete the pass, it's really difficult. You can get side by side, you can drive up, maybe to the inside or outside, but to clear that car and make the pass and move forward, it gets pretty tough.
He got a good run into 3 that time.
Let's see Stenhouse use these 2 cars that are side by side and see how he's able to close up on them.
Joey Logano's gained 6 spots since the restart now with this pass of Daniel Suarez. The hometown favorite is Clint Boyer from Emporia. He has now led the last 8 laps. It's here and it's available today at your local Chevy dealer. The all-new Silverado. The strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Moments ago, Kevin Harvick worked his way back to the lead. Now here's Clint Boyer. He's going to use that lap car just ahead as a pick. Well, maybe in the corner, but not here on the straightaway. They just swarm around Cody Ware, and Harvick emerges with the lead.
Well, we saw before that caution came out that the 14 of Clint Boyer's car started to go away on the long run, but those 4 tires and Kevin Harvick's, the speed in his race car is just too much for anybody.
So let's go back to the restart. Harvick took the extra time to get 4 tires, and that has rewarded him. William Byron was the leader on the restart. This is as they crossed the line to take the green. The speed differential entering the corner about 8 miles per hour.
Yeah, this also goes to show you William Byron pushing all that air that's hitting his car because he was in clean air, and the 4 car of Kevin Harvick was able not only to use those 4 tires, but also use, there's just no air in front of him. He just has, so much speed and momentum as they're punching such a big hole in the air, and the 24 was one of them that was doing that for him.
And he had so much more grip than the other guys. He could go where he wanted to. He saw an opening, he went for it. He didn't have to wonder if the car was going to stick. Had 4 tires on that thing, and he went. You know why the sun shining, don't you? Because Boyer was leading. Sun came, as soon as he took the lead, the sun came out.
So, Larry, what do you think? Any question in that decision?
Well, when I think about Rodney Childers, crew chief for Kevin Harvick in his 4-car, I'd be willing to bet when that caution came out with 30 laps on the tires, he never thought about doing just 2 tires. Guys, we've seen it for a day and a half now. That's been the best race car on the long run. They sat on the pole, and right now I think they're in the mode, the only team that can beat us tonight is if we beat ourselves, and the last thing we want to do is not put 4 tires on a car that's this good.
I got to believe he was thinking about it when they went into turn 1 and he was 10th. And then when they came off of turn 2 and he was 5th, then he wasn't thinking about it anymore.
Took him 15 laps to get back to the lead.
All I know is from the time they went through the inspection until the time his car rolled off the line tonight, they have been very, very upbeat about this car.
Here's a young driver I'm excited to watch, and he's running side by side with 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson. That's Tyler Reddick, our defending Xfinity champion.
Reddick restarted 25th. He's gained 1 spot. Jimmie Johnson, one of those 2-tire cars, restarted 5th. And
the 9 car, Chase Elliott, gets really loose off of turn 4.
Well, that was push loose. He had a lot of wheel in it coming right up on the side of his teammate there, and the car just all of a sudden the front bit and the back jumped around with him.
He had a big run, didn't he, on his teammate Alex Bowman.
He was rolling.
Bowman with another impressive run. Runner-up last week. Chase Elliott also in the mix for Hendrick Motorsports. But the young man from Tucson, he's on a roll.
It's just what he needed, Mike. He's been kind of down a little bit, and I tell you, I've seen bigger smiles on his face the last couple of weeks than I maybe have seen in a year. So those good runs have really, really paid benefits for this 88 team and Alex Bowman.
Kyle Busch at 9th place, Paul Menard with him. So Kyle's picked up 6 positions since the restart. And behind those 2 is Joey Logano in 11th, who has already picked up 7. Regan?
Well, Joey Logano, a good move through the field at the start of this race, going from 30th to 14th. Now picking up more spots, as you mentioned. Mike, I asked him before the race what they had different in that race car. He said they built downforce into his car. That's why they were a little slower in qualifying yesterday than they wanted to be. His biggest concern was, could he get through the field before the 4-car and some of the other fast cars really got away from them. Right now, so far, so good. He's been making a lot of good moves on the track.
5th place, Eric Almirola, who restarted 16th with 4 tires, coming up against Bowman.
Almirola is going to be a factor in this race.
I agree.
I think all weekend long, he's been one of the best cars, along with Kevin Harvick and Clint Boyer. And you wait, he's going to work his way up there. He's a patient race car driver, and they're going to make a few adjustments to that car, and he will be a threat.
3rd place shaping up to be a battle among Chevrolets. Kurt Busch in the 1, Chase Elliott in the 9.
The 9-car, Mike, I watched his lap times. He's running the same speed as our leader. So the 9-car's pretty good right now.
Ricky Stenhouse in 13th. He's got a handful. Let's have a look from our visor cam.
She's a little loose.
And it's making me nervous. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hang on, Sloopy.
Denny Hamlin has brought out the caution flag, and pit road is open. Regan.
The 1-car, Kurt Busch, comes to pit road. Their plan was to pit here and get 4 tires because they want to set up the end of the race. They're already thinking that far forward in this race right now, so 4 tires for him. Matt?
Clint Boyer was plowing tight. They're going to make another swing at it with a chassis adjustment. Remember, Harvick took 4 tires in the previous stop. They didn't go far enough on the air pressure adjustment. Right side this time. That should help tighten them up even more this run.
Harvick is the first car off pit road, but several drivers did not pit. The caution is for Denny Hamlin, who got into the wall in turn 2, cut down a right rear tire, and more importantly, broke a crush panel. You'll see it on the right of your screen. He's all the way down on the apron now. Last week at Dover, Hamlin had a similar problem, tore the crush panel out of the wheel well just in front of the exhaust pipes, and had to be treated for carbon monoxide issues after the race.
Same thing again today.
Jamie.
Yeah, and Denny said he was seeing double vision the end of that race, the last 40 laps, but he was better about 2 days later. But ironically, that just happened again. He knocked the right rear in, and he just asked his team when he came down pit road, he said, did I knock in the crush panels again? So they pulled him out. They took extra time on pit road and put 4 tires on it.
Hamlin has gone a lap down as a result. Kevin Harvick, your leader, under caution. When multitasking goes wrong, this is William Byron's pit stop.
Yeah, the jackman just doesn't quite get the jack all the way out from underneath that jack post on the right side, and when William Byron takes off, it pulls it with him. And that's equipment outside the box.
So he will restart at the tail end. We used to say tail end of the longest line, but now it's just the tail end. And Kyle Busch had to switch positions with Ryan Newman for failing to maintain pace car speed coming to pit road.
Yeah, usually that's somebody trying to save fuel. They've shut the engine off and are coasting too slow. That's usually what NASCAR penalizes, but he's going to make up for it right here, go 3 wide.
3 wide for the lead. Kyle Busch on the bottom, Chase Elliott up top. Busch, Stenhouse, and here's Larson.
Yeah, Larson all of a sudden he's showing up. He's struggling early in this race. Kevin Harvick. That 4-car Mike.
Oh man, there's some aggressive side drafting going on between the 18 of Kyle Busch and the 9 of Chase Elliott. Chase ran him all the way down to the apron.
Look at that blue car on the inside. Look at that 4-car. He restarted
17 car.
He restarted 10th.
Man, Stenhouse just pushing his way to the outside of the 18 of Kyle Busch.
Took Harvick 13 laps to get back to the front.
Kyle Busch slide all the way up. That's going to open the door for a few of these guys.
Chris Buescher, that black car right in the middle.
Buescher in that 37
How about that?
car in the
Chris
middle of the
Buescher.
straight. Go, buddy.
4th place. Paul Menard on the outside.
And Buescher's one of those guys that took 4 tires with some of our leaders on the caution before this last one.
Let me note Bailey Curry got the free pass on that caution, got back 1 of the 2 laps he was down. And on the earlier caution, Michael McDowell, too fast entering, had to restart at the back. He's back up to 22nd. Matt?
Kyle Larson trying to generate some momentum off that 3rd place finish at Dover, turning around his season. Currently runs in the 5th position. The car too free to run up top. They stayed out that run, trying to get more track position to set up for a little bit later in the race here. Right now he's on the bottom.
Well, we're used to hearing Larson running right up against the wall. He loves the top groove, but I've heard him say before, when his car can run good around the bottom, that's when he really has a fast race car.
I've heard him say that, Jeff, that, you know, I run up there because I have to. And I don't necessarily always because I want to, but that's just my car. That's where it's happy at.
Right now, I'm not so sure the 18 Kyle Busch is real happy, losing more positions.
Yeah, he's struggling with that car, Jeff. I've seen it. We've seen it sideways a couple of times. I thought I saw him scrape the wall a little off turn 4 there earlier, so he's got his hands full right now.
Well, Clint Boyer had 4 tires on that stop, moves past Busch to 7th. Jeff, is that something you want to know from your spotter, whether the car coming up behind you had more new tires than you did?
I do, because I can get real frustrated if I'm going backwards and I find out that they've got 4 tires. Okay, I see. No problem. They've got a little bit more grip than I do right now. But if it's somebody on 2 tires going by me, I'm going to get real angry.
Just going to have to drive harder.
Oh, man. And
Kyle Larson threads the needle.
And Eric Jones gave a little bump to the 22 of Logano as he went by. Some great racing going on. Look at this run the 18 car has.
Oh, Menard almost hit the wall off 2 over there.
He tried to clear him and get to the inside, but he just misjudged it a little bit or couldn't get to the inside.
Jamie?
21 of Paul Menard. He's been hanging tough in the top 5, and right as I'm ready to talk about him, he drops out and he continues to drop. And he's been saying his car fires off really good, but he's been worried that that means bad news for later in the race as it gets a little bit cooler just as the longer run goes on as he battles with the 18. They made some adjustments on the first stop, stayed out the second stop. A good run so far for the 21.
New leader, Kevin Harvick. How about this 3 wide?
And there's 3 wide all over the place out there, Mike.
Still in the middle.
Oh, really tight. Here's Newman. Man, he almost scraped the wall there trying to get to the outside of the 10.
8's going to come outside behind him. Outside now. 19's following him.
Jeff, these drivers are getting runs from so far back. This looks like Talladega.
It really does, and that's what happens when you have this much drag and downforce on the cars. You run side by side, or you have to get out of the throttle at all, and you just lose so much momentum to those cars that are coming from behind.
I just seen these cars, Mike. They look like they start off the corner and they get a lot of push, great big push. And then right at the last second, they kind of snap loose a little bit. I've seen that with the 18. I just saw it with the 9 off turn 2 over there. I thought he was going to get in the wall, but I think he must have saved it.
Riding with Ryan Newman. And here is second place, Ricky Stenhouse. Boy, he's been doing that elevator move top to bottom the whole race long, trying to gain advantage.
And again, one of those cars took 4 tires on lap 32. Not this last caution, but the one before that. But, you know, Ricky Stenhouse, when it comes to this kind of racing, to me, this really suits him. He likes to run his car loose. He likes to search different grooves. Dirt track racing really pays off on races like this.
You know what I just heard out of that 17 car? He never lifted. He went into turn 1 down there, and I never heard him come out of the throttle. Listen.
Alex Bowman, Martin Truex, this is for 18th.
Yeah, a little surprised with Truex that he's not been able to work his way further to the front. He talked about, I know DW talked to him before the race, and he said he really liked his car in practice.
Yeah, he said he was happy with the car. He felt like it was probably as good as the car he had at Dover, but they just haven't got it adjusted up for him yet.
4th place, Kyle Larson, Kurt Busch, teammates for Chip Ganassi.
Larson's coming. I think Larson, you know, is starting to get that car tuned up and really get some experience with this type of drafting, and look at him run that top groove and get a big run off the turn 4.
Well, he had a great run last week, Jeff. I mean, when he finished 3rd last week and kind of got the monkey off his back a little bit, if you will, and showing up again today.
Top 15, Bowman going around Menard, and they're chasing that 31, and that's Tyler Reddick.
Oh, Nelly.
And the 21, Paul Menard, I don't know if he had to check up off the throttle. He just lost a lot of momentum. He's just sitting right in the middle of the racetrack as cars were going by him on both sides.
Yeah, with this engine package, 550 horsepower, you don't have great throttle response. That's why you try to run as wide open as much as you can.
2 to go in the stage. Pits are closed.
I got to tell you, so far, I am loving this package here at Kansas.
Big runs, 3 wide, occasionally 4 wide racing.
Well, somebody else that's really loving this package, that's our leader.
I was going to say the very thing. Saying so you like it. How do you think Kevin Harvick's feeling about now?
Right now, Joey Logano trying to get the last stage point. Here's 5th place.
What about our man Buescher here? I mean, that's a great run for him tonight. He's up here trying to battle for 5th place.
And we saw him before this race, and he didn't qualify very good. I said, what kind of race car you got? He said, I think I've got a good one.
Kevin Harvick searching for his first victory of the season. Coming off turn number 4 for his 3rd stage win of 2019. Busch. Chase Elliott, Ricky Stenhouse, Larson and Kurt Busch, the top 5. Buescher, Keselowski, Boyer, Jones, and Logano also receive stage points. He started on the pole, was fast in practice. He's your stage 1 winner. FIFA Women's World Cup kicks off June 7th. All eyes will be on America's team. The U.S. women are the defending champs, heading to France, trying to win a historic 4th World Cup. All matches live here on Fox and FS1. There's Soccer Fever in Kansas City. That's where Sporting Kansas City plays.
Been there.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful place.
Yeah. I went over this morning, did a little work.
I understand you were coaching our Fox staff.
I was telling him, you can't put your hands on the ball. I thought they knew that.
All right, now I know you told them that all the star soccer players only have one name. How is Regan Smith one name?
I said all the great soccer players only have one name.
Right.
So we had Joachim, we had Little, and then we had Regan Smith.
I didn't see any Ronaldo, I can tell you.
No.
I tell you, that's a hard group to coach. I told them everything I knew.
I could see. I can see pit road will be open this time by.
Bring it on in, boys. Bring it on in. Great soccer player.
Yeah,
Regan.
let's go to our midfielder, Regan Smith.
Luckily, I'm better on pit road than I am on the soccer field. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the right side of your screen. He's going to pit. He wants this race car to be tightened up just a little bit. He's been too loose this entire race. To the left is Chase Elliott. He's free, but he's not sure that he wants it tightened up, because he's afraid it's going to hurt the speed on that car if they do. Matt?
Staying out last time really helped get the track position for Kyle Larson. He was way too tight back in traffic. The cleaner air, the car came to him, but then it started to lose the right front, and air pressure adjusted for the 42. Meanwhile, the 4 of Harvick going 4 tires. 2 on the previous stop. He said the car was still on the free side. He also was fighting a vibration the entire run.
Kurt Busch with 2 tires is the first off pit road, then Harvick, Stenhouse.
Well, if they ever get that
Jones
Ford
and
car
Boyer.
dialed in, he's going to be tough.
We say we dial up the guy that, to me, looked like he was having the most fun, and that was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Hey, Ricky, this is Jeff, the guys up in the Fox Sports booth. You got me?
Yeah, Jeff, I got you.
Man, Ricky, you look like you're having a blast out there, and we're certainly having a blast watching you. How's your race going so far?
It's surprisingly pretty good for us. We struggled really bad yesterday with our Sunny D Ford, so boys worked really hard, changed a lot of things overnight, and got her going for us there. So hopefully we can keep up with the track. I think it's going to keep changing. Cars are a little edgier than we thought they were going to be, so trying to keep up with adjustments and see if we can't keep this thing in the top 10 and keep that track position. Always drives better.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us. Thanks for putting on the show. Thanks for wearing that visor camera.
Thank you, not a problem.
Stenhouse will restart 17th. Denny Hamlin gets the free pass. He'll be back on the lead lap. Stage 1 winner, our pole sitter, Kevin Harvick. Bright sunlight from the west over at turn 2 of Kansas Speedway as we're Xfinity fastest pit stops. Eric Jones, 13-second stop. He'd had damage repair on the prior stop, worked his way back up. He will restart in 4th. Jimmy Johnson with a great stop. Harvick, Byron, and Bowman. Kurt Busch took on 2 tires. So he is our leader coming to green, and Joey Logano just leaving pit road after repair to the left rear of Logano's car will restart 33rd. Here they come to the Geico restart zone to begin lap 87.
I'm anxious to see how this strategy works out for the one of Kurt Busch. He took 4 tires on lap 62 and just 2 on this last one.
They installed a turbo on that pit stop on the one car. I think the 4 will eat him up pretty quick.
Well, somebody that ate up Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was a 14, and Clint Boyer going somewhere down there on the bottom, making it 3 wide off of 2.
Boyer so badly wants to win his home state race. He's had good cars here before. Hasn't had good luck. Tonight, maybe he's got both.
Well, Mike, I tell you, he told me before the race started, he said, the 4 car is better than I am, but I'm better than everybody else. So he's only got to beat one guy in his mind.
Well, so far he's been the one that could run with them the best, but he had a tight race car, so if they can get that tightness out of it with some adjustments, he might compete with his teammate Kevin Harvick.
And the good thing, Mike, every time you come into pits and you can make adjustments on your car, most likely you're going to make it better. And so just somebody like Clint Boyer gets that thing adjusted up. Even our buddy Martin Truex has been struggling a little bit. If they get him adjusted up, watch out.
Byron in the 24 coming from the back after his penalty for pulling the jack through and out of his pit stall on the prior caution.
I think I saw the 24 car William Byron on the apron off of turn 4 because they were 4 wide.
And Mike, what you don't want a driver whining. You don't want a driver whining on the radio about his car.
Oh yeah, man. I know who I didn't want to be, and that was Martin Truex Jr. He was pretty smart. He backed out of it.
Harvick hunting the lead. And Bowyer coming right up to him with a good run.
It just seems like that 4-car has a little bit of everything. It's got a good handling race car. He's able to get a little bit better race tires than the others, and he's got great straightaway speed.
And Jeff, he doesn't seem to. It doesn't bother him that somebody's ahead of him like the one car is a Kurt Busch, because he knows that car's going to back up to him, and he knows he's a little bit better than him. So he just waits for the race to come to him.
Chase Elliott to 4th. Isn't it interesting, now that there is not a caution coming within the next 25 laps that we know of, how quickly the field gets to single and double file?
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. You're definitely playing out your race based on what the strategy should be, and here we go. Pass for the lead.
Boy, Kurt took Harvick low.
Boy, Kurt tried so hard. You heard Kevin have to get out of the throttle a tiny bit. I thought that was going to allow the one to get back to his outside.
Kurt tried everything to keep Harvick right on the bottom of the racetrack. Couldn't hold him off.
And Jeff, you're right. That Ford car, not only is he handling great through the turns, he got some straightaway speed too.
Chase Elliott trying to close on this trio. Regan?
Well, Chase Elliott having to pass a few more cars on this restart than what he had hoped for. He got blocked in his pit stall by the 22 car who's pitted directly in front of him. This is something we talked about at the top of the race. All these cars that went to the back got grouped together. It's a little bit more of a challenge because of that. Speaking of the 22 car, he had to pit a second time. He had damage to the left side of that race car. The team didn't even know he had damage till he pitted the first time. They asked him after he left the pit box what happened. He got run into on the side of the race car.
And he has not moved from 33rd place. He's only picked up one spot. Yeah, here are the cars that had inspection issues. The top 5 of those 11 and where they're running right now.
And for the record, they have to get through inspection and fix those issues to get out onto the racetrack.
Yeah, the 22 car, Mike, he was about a half lap down when he came green because he was coming out of the pit late.
And we saw something when Chase Elliott went by the 14 of Clint Bowyer. Clint's been talking about being tight. The 9 car is not tight. He almost turned it around coming off of turn 2 when he made that pass.
I think, Jeff, what some of them are kind of counting on is that the track will change a little bit and that loose car will become a nice neutral car.
Great view here through our visor camera. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. It's at 7th, 8th place. Just having to crack out of it a little bit through the center. I think he's got a really good race car.
Chase wants to be in this race. Here he comes past Kurt Busch for second.
Now he just went by the 14 of Clint Bowyer pretty easily. Now he goes by the 1 car. I know the 1 car of Kurt Busch has 2 tires, but I think Chase Elliott right now has a very good race car that is very well balanced through the center of the corner.
Yeah, lap times, Jeff, watching the 4 and the 9, they're pretty equal. Maybe just a little bit in favor of the 4, but not much.
Gonna have to check on those adjustments for the 14 of Clint Bowyer. Took off good on this restart, but starting to fade again.
Yeah, that's Chris Buescher coming up the outside and closing on Bowyer for 5th place.
And see, Mike, I think that's so critical that the driver can tell the crew chief what the car is doing so he knows which way to go with adjustments. You can't just say it's loose. You can't just say it's pushing. What's it doing, Larry?
Well, we've been watching the 14 pit stops from in here in my little studio, and we don't know what air pressure adjustments they're making. Obviously, nobody knows that except Michael Bugger-Ravitch, the crew chief. But the first stop, what they did is they took a round out of the right rear. That actually is done to tighten the car up. Then they went back with half of that adjustment back to it. That's to kind of free it back up. So really their adjustments as far as wedge spoke and track bar has been very minimal, but you don't know what they're doing air pressure wise.
Thanks, Larry. Clint Bowyer trying to win his home state race, and on our Built for the Playoffs, sponsored by Ram. A little back of where he was last year when he had that win fairly early in the season, Martinsville. But here, 10th in points through 11 races, hoping to make that top 16 and transfer into the playoffs.
And Mike, one thing I see with these guys, they got to run them wide open to get the maximum performance out of this engine. And I think that's where they get in trouble. It's trying to stay in the throttle, The back end hops out, or the front end pushes. That's what I see, a kind of common denominator.
Best battle on track, 9th place, Austin Dillon in green and white versus Kyle Larson in blue.
Yeah, great job by Austin Dillon. You know, these cars have had speed in qualifying, but they haven't been too good in the race. This weekend, I think they're trying something a little bit different where they were not very good, maybe putting a little more drag and downforce in the car, and in qualifying suffer, but here in the race it's showing up as a positive.
Well, a fellow who knows those Ganassi Chevrolets well is Jamie McMurray. Jamie?
Yeah, guys, I actually talked to Kyle earlier today about what happened in practice, and he told me, he's like, I was really tight on the bottom the lap before, and I went to the top, and he said it just came around on me so fast, and he said that they're running basically wide open around here, but he's like, you're really having to drive the car, and he's committed to that top lane. It seems like as the tires start to wear out, the air pressures build up, that's the preferred lane, but a lot of guys look really loose tonight.
Yeah, Jamie, you could hear him getting out of the throttle. He's having to drive it right now. It looks like at least this set of tires don't seem to be to his liking like the last set.
Larson in 10th place, 6 seconds off the lead. Kevin Harvick is your race leader, 1.6 ahead of Chase Elliott as we pass through 100 laps. Kevin Harvick, your leader, clear track in front of him. 2 seconds back, Chase Elliott is your new second place car. Kurt Busch racing Eric Jones for third. Then Alex Bowman.
This isn't just a race, this is a battle. I mean, these guys have been going back and forth, back and forth. I think Eric Jones has a really good race car right now. We saw he was a little bit loose earlier, but I believe they've made some nice adjustments on that car, and it looks really well balanced, pretty fast right now.
Yeah, he's closing up on these front two cars, 20 and 1 in front of him. It looks pretty good.
Notice that roof flap kind of popping up there, not just on Eric Jones' car. There's a few cars out there that have been doing that on these 1.5 miles. And what I hear that does is trips the air up a little bit, reduces the drag a little bit on the straightaways, but you're going to want that thing back down in the corners to keep the downforce in it.
You know when that's an advantage? When you're the only one doing it.
I don't think he's the only one.
Chris Buescher working on Clint Bowyer. This is for 6th place, Matt.
Mike, remember Buescher had a great run in Atlanta, finishing in the 9th spot. Bowyer taking him on the outside, trying to keep that position. He said the car is really loose, and 5 laps later he says, my car is just simply out of control. He asked his spotter, Brett Griffin, where do I need to move to try to help the balance? And Griffin told him, top of 1 and 2, the second group down in 3 and 4.
Ooh, you can see him wiggle right there. I mean, we heard from Jamie McMurray and him talking to Larson how the car was tight on the bottom, and then he went to the top and he was really loose. So, that's a good thing. You can adjust your line and maybe help the balance of the race car for Clint Bowyer. But I don't think if he's loose, he's going to want to be up top right now.
So, Larry Mack, how about that top groove?
Yeah, you heard Jamie McMurray talking about Kyle Larson running up against the wall, and a lot of times a driver will do that looking for grip, but also to gain momentum. But one thing we learned during the offseason, talking to some engineers, is a lot of times a driver will go up to the wall to actually create a little bit of side force. The sides of these cars are so flat, it almost creates a bubble air. That won't keep you from hitting the wall, but it definitely puts some side force in the car. In fact, I even found out there were engineers and crew chiefs on into a run at a track like this that would encourage the driver, go up there against the wall, try to create a little bit of side force in that car.
It's a great animation, Larry, and I'll tell you why, because most of the things we look at the cars going straight. When these cars into turns, the air goes a totally different direction, and the wall plays a factor in that as well, so that's a great animation.
Larson now just outside the top 10. Unless he passes Almirola here.
Well, I think he's getting a challenge from Almirola. I believe Almirola has caught these two guys at 3 of Austin Dillon and the 42 of Larson.
They had him outside the top 10 briefly, and now Larson prevails. Kyle Busch is coming. But boy, it's taken him a long time to get there. He's still about 8/10 behind the Larson-Almirola battle.
Mike, and he's had his hands full with that car. I mean, it's been loose, sideways. He's not been happy with it. Last week, the car wasn't very good. It's not that great tonight, Jamie.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for him, saying he just needs front grip, needs rear grip. So on that last stop, they wanted to take their time. Adam Stevens says, let's be patient here. Let's fix it up. It's going to take us a while. They put a packer in, took a spring rubber out in the right front and the left rear. Air pressure adjustment as well as the 4-tire stop, obviously, to try to help him. But you can see he's still struggling, loose right there in the 18.
Kyle Busch's top 10 streak. Will it continue? Last week he tied Morgan Shepherd for the most consecutive top 10s to start a season. Morgan in 1990. However, after having 11 straight top 10s, Morgan Shepherd failed to have a top 10 for the next 6 races. Not predicting, but facts are facts. Kevin Harvick has led 80 of 114 laps in Kansas. Happy Mother's Day to all our wives and mothers this weekend.
Sir, for sure.
Absolutely.
Here's our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Win your battles, earn your name, Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. It's a double whammy for our producer, Barry Landis. Not only is it Mother's Day, but he and Lizzie celebrate 22 years of wedded bliss this weekend.
Beautiful, beautiful.
.122 laps in. We went back to green about lap 85. So, Larry, if we stay green, what are we looking at for pit stops?
Yeah, I've been crunching some numbers here, Mike, and I think they will run it as far as they possibly can, but I'm seeing Martin Truex Jr. in the 19 car. I think he's on pit road right now. I felt like somewhere around 20 or 25 to go in the stage, but here comes Eric Jones, his teammate in the 20 as well.
So half the Gibbs team coming in right here. Jamie.
Yeah, and Eric Jones started out this race so loose he could barely turn the wheel, but some nice adjustments. Wedge and air pressure have helped that. Said he has moments of being free and moments of being tight. So a 4-tire stop here. We'll go down to Matt.
You're starting to see the leaders hit pit road. Clint Boyer's car was a little bit warm. A piece of tape just fell off the grill. His car was so free that entire run, and then about 3 laps before the stop, he said, now it's starting to plow. They told him to change lanes again. Adjustment already completed. 42 of Kyle Larson also on pit road. Significant chassis adjustment there. He was just way too free. Needed to be tighter.
Brian Newman's been in. Kevin Harvick headed for his pit stall, as are Almirola, Austin Dillon, Byron, and Kurt Busch. Matt.
Harvick's car has just been a tick on the free side this run. He's been fighting that condition the entire race. Even when they went to 2 tires, you can see the wrench in the back window. Going to go for another adjustment here on the 4-car. Regan.
Chase Elliott pits from 2nd place. His race car's been good this run. He has been all quiet on the radio. Only information he's been getting is what the other cars around and behind him have been doing based on where they're running on the racetrack.
So the green flag cycle begins early. Alex Bowman, left of your screen, is our new leader.
He's coming, Mike.
Oh, a little tight there on pit road with Chase Elliott.
And Matt DiBenedetto.
Yeah.
And now here Bowman gives up the lead. Chris Buescher will be the first place car as Bowman hits pit road.
And I'm telling you, that Buescher, he's having to race his life tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been running the top 5 or 6 all night long. Great run.
There's your new leader. Here's Jamie.
Alex Bowman so confident after finishing 2nd the last 2 weeks, and you see it in his driving again tonight. Another fast race car, a 4-tire stop here for the 88. Car has been pretty good. A little bit loose at times, but otherwise good.
Buescher, Stenhouse, Kyle Busch, Keselowski, and Hemrick. That's a very different top 5 than we've seen. Jimmie Johnson getting service, 4 tires.
Jimmy's been having a rough night. He just, back there even outside the top 20. So some work to do there on the 48.
Just haven't gotten that 48 car where it needs to be, Mike. I mean, they seem like they just have trouble with the handle on almost every week.
Ryan Preece on pit road, and we're looking for the 18 to come this time, Kyle Busch. Bubba Wallace in the pit lane, and Busch makes the left turn. So that will leave 16 cars on the racetrack right now on the lead lap who have not yet come to pit road. Jamie.
Well, don't ever count Kyle Busch out, but they still don't have the handling where they wanted to be on the 18. Starts out loose, and the front just gets tight. That's kind of what he's been struggling with all night. You see the wrench there. Another chassis adjustment for Kyle Busch. Try to help the issues here. 4-tire stop.
Joey Logano in. And looking at something that might have been a miss up under the right front wheel well.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe it's on the splitter and they were actually pulling or adding some packer, or is there a fire? Maybe there's a little bit of rubber.
I think it's rubber that they probably got packed in there. It'll burn itself out.
That'll go out.
Little Kansas City barbecue?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Burnt ends.
Heating up in good years.
All right, Larry, 14 cars on the track that have not yet stopped. How many do you think are going to run this tank of fuel out?
You know, Mike, honestly, with trying to race Kevin Harvick in this 4 car, do something different. We saw Daniel Suarez in that 41 car try it at Dover. And right now, if you can catch a caution, you've got a lot of drivers pinned a lap down. To my point, right about the time that Truex pitted, I think somewhere around 15 to 20 to go in the stage, which would be about lap 140 to lap 145. That's about as far as you can go on fuel, but no more than the tires are falling off. If I'm up there right now, and I think as far as they're going, Mike, they're committed to that program.
Well, Larry, I think that Chris Buescher in this 37 team, look, we're talking about Chris Buescher. We're talking about him leading this race, and we're talking about a little different strategy. I like where they are tonight.
We're told to expect him in about 5 laps. So now just 12 cars down to Ross Chastain have not stopped under this green flag cycle.
Yeah, riding along here, second place Ricky Stenhouse Jr. also hasn't stopped. Here's our third place runner, the 2 of Brad Keselowski, also is running this one out long.
Well, we know
yeah, we know he's going to do that.
He'll do something that totally opposite what everybody else does.
Daniel Hemrick in 4th and his teammate for the weekend, Tyler Reddick, in 5th. And I like this strategy. Like Larry says, if you can't beat Kevin Harvick doing what he does, do something else.
Totally agree. I mean, there's a casino right here. Let's gamble.
Tyler Reddick putting together a pretty nice race so far.
Ryan Blaney in 6th started this race with a car that was wrecking loose. They've worked on it, improved on it. His lap times are right within about half a second of the leaders. Daniel Suarez, one of those 11 that had inspection issues, and here we go for the lead. With Ricky Stenhouse.
That's Stenhouse, I'm telling you. He's tenacious tonight.
I loved your conversation with him at the end of stage 1, and just the joy in his voice. He was having a great time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's running up front, and he sounded a little bit surprised, so I think he was happily surprised that he was having the kind of night, has the kind of race car he has.
Chris Buescher ahead by half a second.
Looks like Chris Buescher's coming in. You see him drop real low on that straightaway. Runs to the bottom of the racetrack. It's usually a sign he's coming to pit road.
So he's led 10 laps and now slows to make his green flag stop. And that will leave just 10 cars on on the lead lap that have not been to pit lane.
Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse takes over the lead, so not only was he having fun, he's having a lot of fun now.
Mike, Tad, and Jody Geschecter already seeing the alliance that they started with Hendrick Motorsports this year paying off. Remember, back at Talladega, a third-place finish for Ryan Preece. Back at Atlanta, this 37 car had a 9th-place finish. Right side tires, tight landing down in 1 and 2, just a little free down at the other end in 3 and 4.
Stenhouse, the new leader from Keselowski, 2 Fords leading the Chevys of Hemrick and Reddick. Then Blaney and Suarez.
Pretty important pass here for Kevin Harvick right now. He's a lap down. I guess he'd be the first car lap down. Not that big of a deal, but he really wants to get back on the lead lap. Those cars have not pitted, like Ricky Stenhouse Jr., a leader. If he can get by him, it makes his life a whole lot easier if that caution did happen to come out.
Denny Hamlin is one of those 10 lead lap cars that had not pitted. Now he's in for service.
Four cars a little better through the turn, as you can see here, but on the straightaway, they're pretty equal. You'll see that 17 car pretty well hold its own down that back straightaway.
And not far behind this battle is the 9 car of Chase Elliott. It's closing in on Kevin Harvick. If this thing cycles through and those drivers come down pit road, we might have a pretty good battle on their hands for the lead.
I think Chase is just back there lurking a little bit. He's keeping an eye on Harvick, not letting him get too far away.
And Stenhouse, you saw from the visor cam, he's got a handful right now.
Yes, he does. But he's not checking up, though.
No.
He's ready to pit. When you got a car like that, Mike, you've been leader, you say, how much longer before we pit? Because that's kind of what you're thinking. Right. I need to get in the pits.
So 9 lead lap cars.
And I think he's here. He's listening to. No, he's not. He's just running the bottom.
He stayed out another lap.
Woo! So your first 9 cars on the scoring pylon, plus last night's truck winner, Ross Chastain in 15th place, have not yet made their stops.
We saw right at the end of that long run, Kevin Harvick started to struggle a little bit with the handling, and some cars like the 20 of Eric Jones, the 9 of Chase Elliott, and the 88 of Alex Bowman started closing in on Harvick. So I don't know if the track's changing or just Kevin Harvick's car changing over those long runs.
I think, Jeff, I think the track has changed. The sun's gone down now, and it's cloudy, a little overcast. I think we're dropping the temps, changing the track a little bit. Could change the car.
You saw Corey LaJoyce, 32. He is in 11th place on the lead lap. And Daniel Hemrick there in 3rd, along with Tyler Reddick, 3rd and 4th.
And most likely they have not adjusted on that 4 car at all because it's been so good. So now they may have to make some minor adjustments to get back to where they were.
Well, and if you're Rodney Childers, which direction do you go? He said, I was pretty loose for most of the run. Then all of a sudden it completely flipped 180 and got extremely tight. I'm not sure if you want to adjust for that tight condition because it was so late in the run.
Larry, as we watch Daniel Hemrick come to the pit lane and Ross Chastain, how long can these 8 cars stay out?
Yeah, based on my numbers, Mike, they've got to be on pit road in the next 3 to 4 laps. But I look at the 2 cars leading this race right now. Stenhouse, his crew chief Brian Patty, Brad Keselowski, his crew chief Paul Wolf. Not 2 bigger gamblers on pit road than those 2 crew chiefs.
True.
Amen, brother.
Well, what a great weekend for Ross Chastain on the right of your screen. Big win last night in the truck race. And running up in the top 20 here.
See his hands out the window on the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse, signaling he's coming to pit road.
Ryan Blaney is in.
Wait, come on, man. He got his hands full.
You know, there's a pretty forgiving racetrack in general, but also getting on pit road. But still, you saw he got on the brakes and got pretty loose there.
Regan?
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has been battling a loose race car all night long, as we've seen on our TV screen. He's still loose right now, but he hasn't been complaining about it. 2 tires, a strategy move for these guys on pit road.
More gambling. I mean, you know, why not?
2 tires with 17 to go in stage 2.
That's a good call.
Yep.
Well, when you stay out that late, if you take 4 tires, you're going a lap down.
Tyler Reddick has also made his stop. And here's Keselowski. Regan?
Brad Keselowski also has been very loose all night long. He specifically asked crew chief Paul Wolfe to not short pit him here. He wanted to stay out in the driver's seat.
Trouble at turn 4.
Nope.
Martin Truex booted Daniel Suarez as they were trying to get around Ross Chastain, who had just come off pit road. Now Suarez, he needs to pit.
Yeah, I don't think Truex had any idea that the 41 was coming to pit road.
This really started on the back straightaway. They were all wadded up here.
How that was not a wreck. Amazing save by Suarez.
All right, I'll say, well, he was slowing down to get the pits.
And he still made it to pit road, by the way.
And I'm sorry, that was Reed Sorensen in the picture. They had just passed Chastain going into 3.
I was just poking Mike saying, look at the 4 wide going into 3. Woo.
So, everybody's back on cycle except Matt Tifft, the 3rd place car. Whoa, we have this for the lead.
Goodness.
And that's big, fellas. That's big. Nobody has shown anything for that 4 car tonight.
So Matt Tifft is the leader. He has not yet made his pit stop. Harvick passes him, and here comes Chase. Wow.
That was an aggressive move to get down the quarter panel of that 4 car, Kevin Harvick, to make that pass.
One thing I've noticed about the 4 car in this run, he doesn't run right on the white line like he had earlier. He was up a little bit off the bottom of the racetrack.
So Chase Elliott is the new leader as Matt Tifft makes his pit stop, and we go side by side.
Pocono Raceway is summertime, where the kids are free, where fans become friends, where good times roll, and the racing is always a little trickier. Bring your friends, bring your family, just bring it, Pocono style.
There's a place where speed bumps don't exist, and donuts are served fresh every morning. Welcome to Muscleville, a Dodge owner's paradise, where the food is always fast. The mayor is this guy, and the town square is a straightaway. Head to Muscleville, where every day is a performance day.
I'm going to open up 2 beers. Okay. You tell me which sounds more refreshing. Gotcha. This one? Or this one?
Bush.
Definitely the one that went Bush. What beer is that? Are you being serious? Yes. It's Bush. Right.
Bush.
This is more than a race.
The Coca-Cola 600, here we go.
This is America's favorite weekend. When NASCAR comes home to Charlotte. It's a chance to honor those who've served. And after 600 miles, this is everything and a little bit more. The Coca-Cola 600, May 26th on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
5th place battle at Kansas. Chris Buescher, Chevrolet, Ricky Stenhouse, Ford.
What an amazing run. Both of these guys are having a great run. But that 37 car of Buescher, I mean, he doesn't just have a fast car on the track, but that green flag cycle, they're still in the top 5. Fantastic night that they're having.
10 laps to go in stage 2. Chase Elliott now 8/10 up on Kevin Harvick. Matt?
Mike, Kevin Harvick about a second back of leader Chase Elliott, and he was telling Rodney Childers that the car is just out of control. It's now plowing off turn 2. We need to take a bigger swing, go back on the adjustments that we made on the previous stop, and we need to try something different. You can hear the concern in his voice.
Well, you know, the sun has set. That track temperature has definitely come down, and I think it's really changed the balance of the race car for some of these drivers, and Kevin Harvick is one of them.
Yeah, I just see him run a different line than he was earlier, Jeff. He was right down on that white line earlier, but he's been up the middle of the racetrack. He's searching around trying to find a place where the car's happy. I just don't know if he can find it.
Ooh, Chase Elliott got really close to the wall exiting turn 4 that time with traffic ahead.
Well, and I've been watching the 9 of Chase Elliott. I promise you, his car's not handling perfectly. It's pretty free. It's rolling through the center really good, but it gets really loose on the exit of some of these turns.
Denny Hamlin goes a lap down.
I give Chase a lot of credit to Jeff. He's wheeling that thing tonight. He's after it.
He wants it, doesn't he?
He does. Look, you can see right there, just a little loose in the middle of turns 3 and 4.
I think old Kevin Harvick, that 4 car, and Rodney Childers, they'll keep tuning on that, and they'll be, I think they'll be right back on the heels of that 9 car.
Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman. Now they are 21st and 2nd and fighting hard to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean, this is the last thing that they want to be doing is going back and forth, side drafting and swapping the lead, because all they're doing is losing time to those leaders that are coming behind.
Yeah, Chase Elliott's just right here behind them. They're at the line now, and Chase is at the line now, so he's just a few car lengths back, putting those guys a lap down.
5 to go, stage 2.
And that's what they're trying to accomplish. All they're trying to do is get to the end of the stage, hope they can make some more adjustments to make that car a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't believe Chase can get to him the lap of it. It's going to be close, but I believe they're going to be all right. Got to tell you, Mike, on throttle time tonight has got to be about 90%. Because I hear these guys, they just barely are letting out the throttle, not hardly at all.
And one thing's for sure, when they do let out, it's only probably back down to about 70%. So.
Instantaneous. I mean, it's just in and out.
Even if Chase were to lap Jimmy Johnson, don't think he can get to the next car, which would be which would be Ryan Blaney. So Johnson would get the free pass if he's unable to stay on the lead lap these last 3 laps of stage 2.
Them being teammates, he might cut him a little bit of a break.
No, I think Chase is happy right there. He's got Jimmy ahead of him. He doesn't want to put him a lap down. And Kevin is pretty far back. He doesn't have to worry about him right now. So he's kind of in the catbird seat. He can just let this play out.
2 more laps. 11 races this year, and the stage 2 winner has gone on to victory lane in 7 of the 11.
That's encouraging if you're Chase Elliott, I can tell you.
7-11 casino in turn 2. Anybody?
I like it. I like it.
Kyle Larson trying to pick up the final stage point here. He has about a 2-second margin on William Byron for 10th place. Pit road closed with 2 to go in the stage. Look at Byron in 11th.
Blaney's faded a little bit. He's gotten passed by the 6 of Newman and the 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, I just don't see Chase. I think he's not going to be real. He's just going to be happy to finish this out right where he is.
Well, again, there's no need to lap the 12 because the 12 would just get the free pass.
Yeah.
So here we come to the flag. And it waves over Chase Elliott. 2nd stage win of 2019 for Chase, who won stage 2 at Talladega and went on to win the race.
How about that 20 car, Mike? He finished 3rd. Jones, nice job.
Yeah, he was a ways back after that green flag pit sequence.
Chase Elliott, warm up the siren, boys. Chase Elliott's won stage 2. End of stage 2, 162 laps complete. The Digital Ally 400. And here they come down pit road. Regan.
Chase Elliott is having a great run after he had to go to the rear of the field to start this race. Very descriptive about his race car in the last air pressure adjustment that numbed up the front tires. He liked it, but does not want any more of that same adjustment. Jamie?
Eric Jones in the 20 got tighter as he went on, but felt pretty comfortable by the end of the run. A 4-tire stop for him. Meanwhile, the 88, Alex Bowman, good speed there. said the tail end was too waggy the whole run. A track bar adjustment, air pressure, and add a little tape right there.
Kevin Harvick hung on for the second position. You can see the wrench in the back window. Mike Morneau, the carrier, he will reverse that adjustment they made on the previous stop. And air pressure change as well. He said it just started out wrecking sideways loose, and then it went to plowing.
Ryan Blaney picks up 20 positions with a 2-tire stop. Harvick and Blaney.
Say we dial up old Chase Elliott. Hey Chase, this is Jeff up in the Fox Sports booth. You got me?
Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Chase Elliott. Man, I didn't think anybody, and all of us, I think, didn't think anybody had anything for Kevin Harvick. But man, you proved us wrong. That thing looks really good. How you looking the rest of the way?
That's hard to say. I mean, track position certainly going to be important, as you go along. It's going to be tougher to make ground, I feel like, as it always is. So we'll see what we can do here and try to get back to the lead and control it when it counts. That's all you can do.
All right, man. Well, it's going to be fun. You guys are putting on a heck of a show. It's going to be fun to watch you come up through there. Good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it, pal.
Martin Truex made an extra stop. He'll start near the back. Denny Hamlin gets the free pass, but Chase Elliott is our Stage 2 winner in Kansas. Two of the greatest names in golf, Tiger Woods and Pebble Beach. And Brooks Koepka looking to make history with what could be a third straight championship. The U.S. Open begins June 13th on Fox, FS1, and the Fox Sports app. Kevin Harvick is the race leader, and Chase Elliott will restart 7th. Here's why. Watch the right rear tire changer.
You see the tire changer hits those 4 lug. Looks like maybe just skipped over one, and then he went to pull the tire off, and that last lug just caught maybe one thread, and he had to go hit it again.
That 1.7 second difference on the stop, combined with this crowd coming off pit road, will have Elliott restarting 7th.
And now you see he's blocked on the outside by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Comes up on the 18. That slows him down a little bit. Ooh, 4 wide there on pit road.
So just a little hiccup in the pits, and you go from leading to 7th.
Kyle Busch is in the top 5, maybe for the first time tonight.
Are we surprised?
Well, no, but
that's what amazes me about Adam Stevens and Kyle Busch. They just never give up, and they're never out of it.
The adjusters broke, bud, so we attempted to get that adjustment, but we can't get the wrench in there. So a little bit of air pressure here, and all we got. We'll have to do something different on the next one.
Don't know if that's a wedge adjustment or a track bar adjustment, but those, you go in the back window, so obviously one of those is broken.
One penalty, Martin Truex. Too many men over the wall. They were repairing crash damage on his car, so he'll restart back at 22nd. Here they come to the Geico restart zone as we move into stage 3.
And how in the heck did Ryan Blaney get to the front row? 2 tires. Let's see if he can't hold on to it here. He's not seen clean air all night, so if he can keep some clean air on the nose of that 12 car, he might have a good Hamlin race car.
Are you kidding me?
Look, 4 wide.
Stenhouse pushing Alex Bowman on the outside.
Look at that. That's insane.
Chase Elliott going 3 wide by Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch.
Chase kind of slicing and dicing like Harvick did earlier.
Tell you who's got a great short run car is Stenhouse, and he's had fun with it. He's right there with the leaders.
Well, Harvick's just not able to get away from these guys right now. He's got his hands full.
Well, remember, he was complaining about being loose, and I'm just wondering if that loose condition is still there. Looks like he might clear the 12 Ryan Blaney now. Don't count out the 20 car of Eric Jones or that 88 of Alex Bowman. Those guys were both really fast at the end of that run.
One thing I noticed about Harvick's car, he just doesn't see. Yeah, look at Stenhouse. He's going to go on the apron if he has to.
He's going to go wherever they aren't.
But I noticed Harvick's car is up in the middle of the racetrack, particularly off corner exit, which is a little different than it was when it was handling and running great.
Chase up the outside. Looking for fifth.
Chase kind of boxed right here.
Not going to get it there.
Whoa, big slide by the 9 of Chase Elliott. Doesn't slow him down, and he actually gets a big run on the 20 of Eric Jones.
I think that's the deal, though. You just can't let out the throttle. You got to go somewhere and not let out that throttle.
Well, he was 3 wide with the Busch brothers. He had to get out of there, and did.
He's able to slide up in front of Eric Jones.
So we talked about Ryan Blaney, who is the second place car, maybe third after Stenhouse finishes this run, but that was an interesting choice, Larry.
Yeah, but it's even more interesting, Mike, because under that green flag pit stop at lap 142, with, 18 laps to go in that stage, Jeremy Bullins, the crew chief, brought around the pit road and did right sides only. And what he did right there, he went with left side tires only. Everybody has to make one more stop. That's a little interesting strategy.
Well, man, you talk about interesting strategy. Right at the front right here with Bowman and Stenhouse. I mean, they're putting on a show right now.
Well, Eric Jones was wound up and ready to pounce, and when they got double wide and had to lift, off he went.
Wow.
Now watch the 12 on the right of your screen on the replay.
Let's see as he drops in behind the 17. It takes the air off the car. Completely comes out of the racetrack and almost loses it, comes around.
And then Jones goes all the way to the grass to get by Chase.
And now those 2 tires for Blaney have him backing up tonight.
Yeah, and a lot of times those left side tires, if your car was tight, you took left side tires, that's a good thing. It'll free it up. To be honest with you, I haven't had much luck in my career taking left side tires. I hope it works out better for Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, no, that's usually not a great strategy.
He has dropped 8 spots. Hope he can catch a caution and hope it's not him.
Hope.
Brad Keselowski has gained 7 positions since the restart. Most of anybody. There's Clint Boyer in 12, fighting Blaney for 12th. Austin Dillon coming up, as is Almirola and Menard.
I really expected a lot more out of Almirola. We've seen little moments of that car being really fast, but consistently just not quite there. Here we are for 4th position. Don't count that 18 Kyle Busch out.
He's relentless, man, and he stayed after it. His car didn't handle that great to start with. It's not too bad right now. And Mike, I'm looking at the lap times. We were running 31 10s and 20s earlier. Right now, last time by 30.65 on our leader, Kevin Harvick. So the track has speeded up quite a bit over what it was before the sun went down.
Well, maybe we expected too much from Blaney. He was 20th before he made that 2-tire stop. Restarted 2nd. Now he's in 15th. So right now, that's a net gain of 5 spots.
Right now.
Matt?
Mike, most of the race, Blaney could not run inside the top 20. The car would just swing from being wicked free to being just super tight. He just felt like he was stalled out. No matter what he would try, lane choice, it did not help. Jeremy Bullins, he had to roll the dice and try to get some track position, see if the cleaner air would help. But you can see those 2 tires, he's slowly just dropping back.
Yeah, Matt, it helped for a little while. He battles Tyler Reddick, and here comes Jimmy Johnson.
But the 12 car, it's just kind of evil.
Whoa, he's real loose.
I mean, it's just all over the place.
Man, he was sliding that thing through 3 and 4.
You're going to need 8 tires on that thing.
Kevin Harvick out in front by 1.2 seconds, but is there an issue with the 4 car? I think he said right front.
Something's wrong because he's slowing it quite a bit, and the cars are gaining on him quickly.
I think I thought he was coming, but he definitely has an issue. Sounds like maybe right front. Oh, he's certainly got some tape or some Plastic on the grill, that's certainly not good. Might be overheating a little bit, but I think maybe that right front is a bigger issue.
Alex Bowman goes past into the lead.
How about the last 3 races, if you count this one, that Alex Bowman has been having? Gotta believe he's coming this time.
Got to.
So Harvick gives up the lead, comes to pit road, was complaining about the right front of the car. This will take him off the lead lap as he rolls down pit road at an agonizingly slow 45 miles an hour. What are they saying, Matt?
And Rodney Childers giving the teams a game plan for when that 4-car hits the pit box. They want to pull the debris off the grill, Mike. He documented that tear-off or something on the grill. You can see, once remember, with the brush, he gets it. They're also going to go right side tires. Rodney says the lefts look fine. He's away.
I think there's a couple things might have happened there, Mike. That plastic on the grill could have changed the balance of the car, made the car feel like there was something wrong with it, and Kevin maybe overreacted and came in for 2 right side tires.
So the protocol on that is when your driver complains about a loose wheel, possible right front tire, they feel something. Now the crew chief goes to those pit crew members, they watch the video, they ask them, they say, was there anything that may you might not have gotten completely tight? And if they think there's a chance, they come in and change that tire.
Kevin Harvick has dominated this race, leading 105 laps, but now he is 1 lap down.
Exciting night of racing here for the All-Star race. Welcome to the All-Star race. There's the the kid address to this, man. This is what $1 million will make you do. Great over $1 million wealthier.
Monster Energy NASCAR All-Star Race. Next Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
You heard that right.
Thanks for coming.
No problem.
Welcome. This is the Durabit of the all-new Chevy Silverado.
Looks real sturdy.
That is huge. It has available LED cargo area lighting.
Lights up the entire bed.
It even offers a built-in 120-volt outlet.
Wow.
Plug that in for me.
Oh, holy smokes.
And the all-new Silverado has more trim levels than any other pickup.
Oh,
very cool.
There's something for all of us.
Absolutely.
It's time to upgrade.
This is more than a race.
The Coca-Cola 600, here we go.
This is America's favorite weekend. When NASCAR comes home to Charlotte. It's a chance to honor those who've served. And after 600 miles, this is everything and a little bit more. The Coca-Cola 600, May 26th on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Welcome to our NASCAR Race Hub.
From the green flag at Daytona to the checkers of Homestead.
In the car, under the hood, and hanging with the drivers.
We've got the drama, the stories, the science. We've got the speed.
NASCAR Race Hub. Weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
The month of May has been good to Alex Bowman of Hendrick Motorsports. He's now the leader by 0.6 of a second over Ricky Stenhouse. What makes him so good here at Kansas?
I love Kansas. It's one of my favorite places we come. It's really the only repave that's widened out as much as it has. It's a lot of fun. It's really fast. It's probably this package's best place to shine, and hopefully we're up front at the end of the night.
The end of the night comes 79 laps from now. Look at Alex Bowman in his first 126 career starts, most of which were not with Hendrick Motorsports in the 88. In the last 2 races, his average and actual finish, second.
When you heard Alex Bowman talk about this racetrack and its characteristics really showing this aerodynamic and engine package, but what it's really showing to me is that the Hendrick Chevrolets and a couple of those other Chevrolets are for real. We've been wondering, have they made improvements since earlier in the year when they struggled? Well, I would say, yes, they have. Jamie?
Yeah, and Alex Bowman talked about how much he likes this track. Well, he has 2 wins here in the ARCA Series. He's also had his best mile-and-a-half finish here as well. And I talked to his crew chief this morning about this track and how their car is running, and he said he really felt like they had a good car, but he said this will be our measuring stick to see if we can hang on and compete with these guys. But he said with a big smile, of course, we are definitely a top 5 car right now. They're the #1 car.
Absolutely. It is Chevy, Ford, Toyota, with Ricky Stenhouse in second, looking back from our Ford onboard camera at Kyle Busch.
Well, there are 5 Chevrolets in the top 5, and then there's some Toyotas up there.
There's your Toyota top performers tonight.
And based on what I just saw from Kyle Busch rolling through the center of that corner and how fast that 18 car looked right there, I'd say they've got that thing working a lot better for Kyle Busch.
Now, Kevin Harvick thought he had a problem with the right front. They came to pit road. Matt, what'd they find?
Mike, Rodney Childress looked at the tires that came off that right side. He said he didn't see anything that looked like it was a loose wheel, but they had that huge tear off right there. You see it on the grill. They got that off. Harvick went back out, and he said now the car is just simply plowing.
I think that tear off confused Kevin. I think when that got on there, it changed the balance of the car, and he wasn't sure what it was. He thought it was the right front. So
and you saw how much was open on that grill, so that was a lot of that plastic was really covering it up a lot, and so that could really add a lot of front downforce to that race car.
Kyle Busch has passed Ricky Stenhouse now for second spot. Jamie McMurray, how about what you're feeling out there at this stage in the race? 74 to go.
Well, guys, just listening to what Kevin Harvick went through, you know, historically, Kansas, Texas, even Talladega, the tire that Goodyear brings here, it sometimes has almost like a harmonic vibration. Not every set does it, but sometimes you get a set and you can't distinguish between loose wheel or is it just that set of tires having a little vibration. Look, it's just not worth taking the chance. You know, the speeds that those guys are running, if you do have a problem and you wreck, your night's over. Kevin's still in this if he can get the cautions to fall for him, but man, that's so frustrating when you get stuck with one of those.
Yeah, Jamie, it certainly helps to make that decision when you've got the kind of race car and race team that Kevin Harvick has here tonight.
And he's got a fast car, and so, you know, he's being overly cautious maybe. Didn't want to take a chance.
And typically what you would do is you feel a vibration, you wait for it to get worse, and the way that Kevin Harvick slowed down, it just seemed to me like he was feeling that vibration gradually getting worse and felt like it was a loose wheel, but maybe there was just so much front downforce, the car was getting extremely loose.
Yeah, I just think that's what, I think it changed the balance of the car, and it confused him, and he wasn't sure what it was.
And Larry, what about now when he says the car is just plain plowing?
Well, to Jeff's point, when you have that much debris on the nose of that car, it plants the nose of the car into the racetrack and creates a lot of front downforce. But we went back and reviewed it. It was only on there about a lap and a half to 2 laps. Almost kind of feel like they almost panicked a little bit right there.
Well, and Larry, remember, I don't know, has Kevin Harvick put 2 tires on his car yet tonight? Because 2 tires on those right sides will tighten that car up a lot.
Well, listen, yeah, they changed right sides on that second caution back at lap 62, Jeff, and then they actually just, of course, they just went with rights right there. But yeah, other than that one time, 4 tires every time.
Well, Alex Bowman has got a mirror full of Kyle Busch now.
And I'm chuckling right now because I'm thinking to myself, where did he come from? I mean, Kyle Busch has been struggling tonight. You would have never thought he had any chance of, yeah, you know he's going to get a good finish out of it. We were talking about whether he could get in the top 10. Now he's battling for the lead.
But I think that's where his crew chief, they have great notes. They knew what to expect out of this racetrack when it cooled down. And now the car the track is complementing the car. And it's not out of control like it was when the race started.
Well, at one point not long ago, we were wondering if he could continue his top 10 streak. Now we're wondering, can he win this race?
Well, I don't know why we should ever wonder, right, Mike? I mean, my gosh, how many times have they pulled off wins when you never thought they would?
11th place, Austin Dillon, Clint Boyer. 69 laps to go. Kyle Larson moves up to 8th, and we'll take you, Fox, side by side.
Never a dull night. Take this. There it is. How much for the bolt cutters? You're paying for breakfast.
The greater than ever Corolla. Let's go places.
Get huge savings on clothing for the outdoors only at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Like Redhead Trailhead cargo shorts starting at under $20. And Worldwide Sportsman Angler shirts starting at under $20. Your adventure starts here.
What if I wielded the power of the Infinity Gauntlet? I could bend reality to my will with a snap of my fingers.
I just saved money with Geico.
I saved hundreds of dollars.
Nice.
That is a lot of money. The power is exhilarating. I just got something in my throat. Yeah.
Marvel Studios' Avengers Endgame in theaters April 26th.
Beautiful but very warm Sunday afternoon. Campgrounds are full. Happy race day, everybody. It's going to be a great afternoon for racing.
You can't ask for anything more special than what we have here tonight.
Drivers, start your engines! Let the party begin.
Think David can defeat Goliath. Think again. This Goliath isn't just bigger or faster. She wants it more. So let the Davids take aim.
Ones to watch.
Well, Mike, I really enjoyed what I'm seeing out of Eric Jones tonight. He actually was in the top 10 both races last year in Kansas, and he's been in the top 5 here tonight. I think he might not just finish there, he might even work his way back up to the front.
Jeff, Chris Buescher qualified 18th. This is his 126th career start in the Cup Series. His average finish at 1.5-mile tracks, 22.2. He may not win the race, but he and Trent Odens, they're working on improving that average finish.
Hey, Larry, when this race is over with tonight, they're going to be chasing Elliott.
26-year-old Alex Bowman has had a tough go of it since taking over for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88. But the last 2 weeks have been a breakout performance for him. It's all about confidence, and that's what he is exuding here this weekend. He leads his first laps ever here at Kansas. He's confident. Keep your eye on that 88 for his first career win.
Well, Jamie, 3rd place, Ricky Stenhouse has never had a top 10 at Kansas. 3 11th place finishes. But boy, has he been fun to watch tonight. That's your Credit One Bank ones to watch. With 62 to go. Larry Mack?
Yeah, Mike, I'm looking at what we're going to be doing on this field window here. We pitted at lap 163. We went back racing at 167, which is exactly 100 to go. Now, the window to be able to make it to the end opens in about 3 laps from right now. But I think what they'll do is they'll split it down the middle and run 50 and 50. So you'll see them pit with about 50 to go at lap 217.
And that will get us home. But we still have 23 cars on the lead lap. All the way back to Ryan Blaney. Matt Tifft is the first car 1 lap down.
That's bad news for Kevin Harvick, too, because he's the 3rd car that's 1 lap down. Tiff and LaJoy both ahead of him, so he's got his work cut out for him to get back in this race.
Seems like, oh, man. I don't think Kevin Harvick thought they were going to leave him enough room. That gap was closing in a hurry. It seems to me like at this stage of a run, the balance shifts dramatically for a lot of cars out there. It's turned to the positive side for the 88 of Alex Bowman as he stretched out that lead, but it's gone the opposite way for a guy behind him, Kyle Busch.
That was my concern about Stenhouse. We know he's got a good short run car, and top to bottom and anywhere, but we'll see as we get further into this run. Daniel Suarez, who is a lap down, first of the contenders to come to pit road.
Mike, you talked about Stenhouse. You mentioned him. I think he's making a difference tonight because he is driving the wheels off of that car, running in third place right now. It's a big night for him.
But it seems like to have a fast car, you've got to hang that back end out a little bit. Ricky Stenhouse loves to hang the back end out and run a loose race car through the center of the corner.
Kyle Larson, 9th place.
And I could easily say the same thing about Larson. I'm actually a little surprised that he hasn't been able to contend for the lead here tonight, because I thought this would fall right into his wheelhouse.
Brian Blaney was the last car on the lead lap, and so just as he gets lapped, Matt Tifft as well, as Alex Bowman is opening up a lead on Kyle Busch, now at 3.6.
Hey, that 88 car, you got to be a believer in the Chevrolets now, right?
Oh,
feel good about where they are.
I've been waiting for this race right here. This racetrack has worn a bit. You need downforce, but you got to get down the straightaways. But the car's got a handle, and you got to maneuver through traffic, and he's done a great job doing that. Here's a battle for 5th place. Brad Keselowski.
Eric Jones having a strong night. He's the 2nd Toyota behind Kyle Busch in 2nd.
Now, if you want to watch a guy, a unique maybe decision to be made here some way, something contrary to what everybody else is, keep an eye on that 2 bunch, because they have been notorious. I remember this race one time. He had to make it on fuel. He was pushing the clutch in, going down the straightaway and coasting into the corners.
Yeah, under green.
Under green. I never thought I didn't know you could do that.
Daniel Hemricks made a stop. Still none of the lead lap cars have come in, and now Kevin Harvick is in the free pass position.
And going back to the 2-car, Brad Keselowski, he's now got himself in a position with a fast enough race car into the top 5. He can do something a little bit different, he and Paul Wolfe on pit road. Before, he was too far back. Whatever they did, it seemed like unless something really magical happened, they weren't going to be able to use that strategy.
Our Coca-Cola camera from Ryan Newman looking back at Clint Boyer. 10th and 11th place. Denny Hamlin had gotten back on the lead lap with the free pass at the end of stage 2. He's on pit road.
Tough couple of weeks for this team, and Denny Hamlin got a couple wins. They've had a pretty good season in 19, but boy, they have not had a good couple of weeks.
Yeah, with the 11 pitting again, that puts Harvick back in the free pass position if he can stay there.
If a caution comes.
That's a pretty big assumption because we haven't seen any caution flags.
Menard and Byron in the pit lane. Routine stops.
And Mike, I mean, we're getting down to it. You're talking 51 laps to go here. We're coming to 51 laps to go. This race is almost over.
Something we've seen a lot of, that rubber and dust in that wheel catching on fire when these guys, I think these guys have to use so much brake coming to pit road that it heats those rotors up a lot.
Joey Gase is in. Here's Ryan Newman, Austin Dillon, Martin Truex, and Matt DiBenedetto making stops. Eric Jones locked up the wheels coming onto pit road. Locked up the tires, that is. Kurt Busch is in. So is Kyle Larson. And now pit road's getting busy. Jimmy Johnson, Eric Almirola are in. And there's Jones making a quick entry in. Jamie.
Eric Jones will be and he just couldn't. A 4-tire stop here. It's going to matter.
Somebody lost a wheel.
Yeah. Prime time to leave me loose.
Caution is out. For that reason, oh boy. The first 8 cars have not pitted. And I believe Kyle Larson also shown on the lead lap. That's one of Ryan Newman's crew.
You know what they told him? You lost it, you go get it.
Making the walk of shame out there, and they said, no, come back here.
Man,
so we'll have to sort this out.
Look at everybody's right front is on fire when they come down pit road.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's just hot brakes, and then they got a little rubber up in there, and it catches on fire.
Now, unofficially, we have 7 cars on the lead lap. A lot of these cars that just stopped will be able to take a wave around. Not that fire.
Not that fire.
That's not the right front. Those are.
Hey, whose car is that?
Definitely some burn ends there.
They barbecue everything around here.
I'd never heard that phrase, but we went to this place, Grand Falloons, down there in Country Club Plaza, and they have a burnt ends, bacon, and grilled cheese sandwich, and it is amazing.
Yeah, put me in for one of those.
Okay.
Yeah. Put me down, I'll take one.
Well, you come with us.
Can you get it through the garden?
I don't know. All right, pit road is closed this time around. This fall, Fox becomes the new network home of WWE's SmackDown Live. You can catch all the action every Friday night beginning October 4th, only on Fox. Let's have a look at our Coca-Cola Racing family for this evening as NASCAR sorts out our scoring and how many cars we have on the lead lap. Now, all of these cars have made that stop. Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Ryan Newman, Austin Dillon a lap down. Daniel Suarez maybe 2 laps down. Bubba Wallace also 2 laps down unofficially. Once NASCAR determines it's safe to go get that wheel and tire, I believe they'll send one of their safety crews out there rather than have a crewman go retrieve it. Do we see a number on that wheel?
This is when you wish you didn't see a number on that wheel.
We're told it is from Ryan Newman's car.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate break for a few guys that came down pit road with Keselowski and Jones and maybe even Larson, a couple of those that had just come to pit road.
What the hell's a caution for? Caution's for our rear tire that went across pit road out into the grass. 10-4. I guess we deserve this one.
Leave it to Newman. Oh, man. You know, Mike, I'm looking at our scoring monitor over here. I'm not sure if Kevin Harvick's going to be in the free pass position or not. It looks like Keselowski may be.
Well, that's what we're showing unofficially. So, Larry, 48 laps to go. We've had a number of drivers have just been on pit road, and we know they are no longer on the lead lap.
Well, Mike, to me, though, the cars to beat have not pitted yet. So they're going to pit under this caution, and everybody can make it to the end. There's one that just pitted under green, and these drivers. So to your point, everybody that's pitted, they're going to take the wave around. But Bowman, Kyle Busch, Stenhouse, Elliott, Buescher, Boyer, and Reddick, they're going to be at the front on 4 brand new tires. So this is definitely a huge game changer.
Right. You see the cars now unofficially. Those first 7 cars are on the lead lap, and down through 15th, Kurt Busch, again unofficially, those cars are 1 lap down at the moment of caution. Now, the free pass, checking the rule, that is given at the moment of caution. And again, that's being sorted out now by NASCAR officials. Pits will be open this time for lead lap cars, which we show as the top 7.
And the only difference about some of those cars that you mentioned is that they come down pit road and taken tires, but Harvick has not. Logano also has not taken tires. So, those guys that did the free, that have 4 tires but are lapped down, they can do the free pass, and that's fine. But those other guys can't take the free pass.
They can't.
So here come your lead lap cars, led by Bowman and Kyle Busch. The free pass is Kyle Larson. And here's Regan.
Well, 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. continues to have a very strong run with this race car. It's too loose. It finally started to come to him at the end of that run, though. The 9 of Chase Elliott on the left of the screen. He's too loose, needs more rear security. Jamie?
Kyle Busch in the 18, noticeably better at that run. Front tires, though, keep turning longer than he wanted him to. A 4-tire stop. The 88 of Bowman said edgy on entry to middle.
Kyle Busch leads them off pit road.
Yeah, great work by that pit crew.
So we're told that Kyle Larson is the free pass car. Free pass determined at the exact moment the caution lights turn on. We're under yellow in Kansas with 46 to go. .45 laps to go in Kansas. And a penalty for Kyle Busch. Driving into his pit stall, he drove through too many pit boxes, those X'd out boxes, prior to his stall. You can drive through 3, which in that case would be 21, 22, and 23. He drove through those other pit boxes. And that's a penalty, including the vacant stall.
Yeah,
so
it's a vacant stall, so I'm sure he was a little confused by that, and that's where the penalty came from.
And here's their radio.
Driving through too many boxes on entry. I swear, anytime you say anything, you get handed to you. But yet, others do it, and it ain't for them. I counted the boxes, but we damn sure drove through 4 boxes coming in.
Okay.
I mean, I love Adam Stevens, you know, being honest with his driver. I mean,
tells it like it is.
You can understand why Kyle Busch is frustrated and upset about that call, and you know, he just clipped that 1 box, just one too many, and you know, he'll look back on that and say, yeah, I did.
He will think that was because of what he said about the rules last week. That's where he's coming from.
No, that's like speeding, Daryl. That's an objective call from the camera.
No, but then the crew chief steps in and said, "No, buddy, you went through too many pit boxes. So forget what happened last week. Here's what happened this week."
I'm with you. .44 laps to go in Kansas. All-Star next week in Charlotte, and a lot of big fun coming up.
In just 2 weeks at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the stars from the Monster Energy Cup Series are taking back the broadcast as they call the Xfinity Series race from a driver's point of view.
Don't forget about me.
Tune in Saturday, May 25th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, where the drivers-only broadcast team are live from Charlotte.
And one crew chief. You know, that's always fun for us, too.
Oh, it's a lot of fun for us.
To be able to Monday morning quarterback.
That's right.
I love
those folks trying to do our day job.
But it's like a race fan getting behind the wheel of a race car, right? You love that as a race car driver because it shows it's not that easy. And those guys, they do it. They do a nice job. But it's kind of nice to know this job's not as easy as sometimes it looks.
So the free pass here was Kyle Larson. 22 drivers take the wave around. 5 of them will get back on the lead lap. Keselowski, Jones, Jimmy Johnson, Almirola, and Kurt Busch.
I just hope that those guys on that driver's only broadcast get a caution right when everybody pits under green.
Yeah, buddy.
Or have to figure out who gets the wave around.
Yes.
Or the who gets the free pass.
Well, this could get interesting.
So
we're about 4 wide back in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion going on. They're going to add a lap here.
You go. No, I'm going here. No, you go here. No.
All right, the one number we're sure of. Yeah, they're four wide on the caution lap for position. One number we're sure of is 30. That is the number of candles on our graphics BA Aaron Suiza's cake tomorrow. Happy birthday.
I don't know where Jimmy Johnson's going, but he's moving up.
And our other BA, Jonathan Biles, got married today. That's big.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
And for our other BA, Cody Novak, I got nothing.
We got nothing.
Sorry, Cody. Step it up.
You're behind. Well, I think we got the lineup sorted out now.
And we'll restart with 13 lead lap cars, all the way back to Kyle Busch, who is restarting under penalty for driving through too many pit boxes.
And there's a whole sequence of events that goes on here. You've got the wave arounds, the free pass car, the penalty cars, the lead lap cars, and that's what NASCAR's trying to sort out right now.
Yeah, guys, the way it's lined up is the lead lap cars go to the front, and then pretty much any cars that are one or more lap down, they pit next. They line up next, and then it pretty much goes to the free pass car, in which right now is Kyle Larson in the 42, and then behind the free pass are the wave around cars, and then behind them, which would be Kyle Busch, is a penalty car.
Hey, Larry.
So it's lead lap, one or more laps down, free pass, wave around, and penalty car.
Thank you for clarifying that,
No
Larry.
kidding. Now, if you could tell the driver, that'd be great.
Kyle Busch is in 13th place. He'll restart 40th. So we're ready for the restart.
Almost.
We thought.
And Larry gave the order that the drivers need to be in. NASCAR has been on the radio, and the big argument right now is the 20. They believe that because they did not pit under caution, they think they're the leader.
It still isn't right. We should be the damn leader. All those guys in front of us pitted. If we did not lose a lap, then we were the leader because they all came down pit road. Saying we should be leading. 100% agree.
I don't know how they said not everybody pitted.
Right.
Didn't pit. Elliott didn't pit. Stenhouse hadn't pitted.
But they did pit under caution.
You know,
this is NASCAR scoring, and they have Jones in 8th. And here we come to the restart with 39 to go.
You know how you fix this? Drop the green flag. And we did the race.
All that did was get them back on the lead lap, is what that did. But let's go back racing. 3 wide.
And Jones right in the middle. Again.
He's like, I'll show you. I'll go take the lead.
He could. He's going to have to get around that 9 car. And I believe that 9 car gets clean air. He's gone.
How about third place there, the 31 of Tyler Reddick. What an impressive race he's putting together. A lot of people really rave about this kid's talent. He's showing it tonight.
Well, he is. Yeah. Look here. You got Stenhouse, you got Buescher, you got Reddick. I mean, these kids are all, these are young guys here. Up here battling for a win. And Eric Jones not too far behind.
Love to know what the average age is with top 6 or 7. Well, it's got to be really young.
First 2 are pretty young.
4 wide.
Now remember, Kyle Busch had to restart 40th because penalty cars start to the very last on the restart pecking order. He's still in 13th. Well, no, he's not. He's the last car on the lead lap.
Well, he thinks he should be the leader.
Buescher
between Buescher
and Jones.
What a move. Oh, my gosh.
Remember Kevin Harvick in the 4, 1 lap down still. But, again, in the free pass position.
And buddy, I tell you, he'd like to drive up there and get in front of all these guys. I don't think he can, but he sure would like to.
We almost had a caution. We're about to have a fight for the lead as Keselowski Almirola side by side. Bowman has caught his teammate Chase Elliott. They're trying to get away from Stenhouse, Reddick, and Boyer.
That is an interesting top 5 we got going on here, boys.
Yeah, 7 career wins in the top 5, Darrell. Total.
I'm just telling you. Alex Bowman looking for his first win. I mean, he's right there, got a shot. Chase trying to fend him off. You got Stenhouse.
You can see the 9 of Chase Elliott. They're trying to break the draft. He knows that 88's really working the top groove, gets a big run down the straightaways from that top groove and using the draft.
Look at this. Look at this. That's just incredible. Chase 23, Bowman 26.
Eric Jones 22.
Boyer slid in there.
Yes, Boyer's the old man there.
Yep.
Him and Keselowski.
Old man Boyer in there.
At 30, still under 40.
Call him the old man, but who among us wouldn't want to be 39?
Yeah, no kidding.
Let me think about that.
And know what you know now.
Okay, I'll throw that in there.
Ryan Blaney in the 12. Caught the wall pretty hard.
I thought he was going to wreck that thing. He really banged it hard off the wall right there.
And we've seen so many times you flatten that right side, those fender flares come in, and the next thing that happens is a cut tire if you don't get to pit road.
But his car's been dog meat all night. I mean, he just has had his hands full, and he's been against the wall a number of times. That's the first time he really hit it that hard.
But at least it's still running right now. If he doesn't come in and pull those fenders out, which I think he might be doing here, he's going to have a lot more trouble.
He's going to pull his hair out if he doesn't, because this has not been a good night for him.
He does not come to pit road.
And a caution would put Kevin Harvick right back into play. Put him back on the lead lap.
Now on that 12 car, because he's got a lot of right side damage. I don't see any smoke from tires rubbing, but he's got a lot of right side damage.
Boy, heck of a battle among teammates here with Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman has given Chase Elliott fits, working every single lane he can.
Well, Chase wins the race tonight. You can get 10 free boneless wings when you buy any 10 on Monday at Hooters, or free fried pickles if Chase finishes in the top 10.
I just think it's amazing that Chase Elliott's leading here, Bowman, his teammate. Ricky Stenhouse. Ricky's hung in here like this all night long, running third, and right there with these guys.
Chase goes high, Alex Bowman goes low.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, it's right.
Oh,
you
boy.
can see Chase Elliott goes down, side drafts Alex Bowman, gets him a little loose.
Both cars look stable, though. I didn't see the 88 get loose.
Boys, you keep this up, Ricky Stenhouse is going to be right with you.
There's that cut tire in the 12. Pieces of debris from that tire coming off. And that is down in 1 and 2.
So Blaney will make it around to pit road on the apron.
Right now, Kevin Harvick saying there's debris.
No, it's everywhere.
Debris.
It's everywhere. Home track's
caution.
covered. And there it is.
Sixth caution flag of the night.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There's,
I told you it's everywhere.
Chunks of rubber.
That's the whole rear end of the car coming out.
Pieces of aluminum.
It's a small dumpster fire.
Right.
Turn 2.
Oh, my gosh. The crush panels are crushed.
This kid started the season off so well. Really thought he was in position to get a win here and there. Led a bunch of laps in Phoenix, I think in Vegas too. And boy, ever since those good runs, it has been downhill for Ryan Blaney. He's got to get some things working his way.
Chase Elliott, your leader. Here's Alex Bowman's radio.
Nice job there, buddy. Sorry if I gave you a bad late choice there. Yeah, it's in 4. Thought we were going to work a little better together, but we're going to win this damn thing. Okay, come for it. You got it, man.
That's loved it. That's a positive attitude. We're going to win this damn thing. I like it.
Larry, 27 laps to go. What will you do?
Yeah, you know, right now with Harvick getting a free pass, that gives us 14 drivers on the lead lap. There's no question. Those drivers up front, they only have 11 laps on their tires. Track position is king right now. So I do think if you're back there, maybe say Almirola, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, yeah, come get 4 fresh tires, make more adjustments. But if you're up front, I've already packed the pit box up. You are not coming back to pit road.
Looks like Eric Jones is the first one.
I don't know. I saw what four tires did earlier.
6 cars on pit road, Jamie.
And Eric Jones, you saw him come in there, work on the car a little bit. Says he's loose firing off in traffic, so he just wants that balance to be tightened up just a tad. It's a 4-tire stop.
Well, this plays into the hands of 2 proven winners. One is Kevin Harvick, who gets the free pass, and the other is Kyle Busch, who is right up there among the contenders after being 40th on the last restart. 13th position, but 40th on the track. Let's go side by side.
Exciting night of racing here for the All-Star race. Welcome to the All-Star race. Emerson Bowers, the kid is dressed in this, man. Emerson Bowers, baby. It's my money,
This is what $1 million will make you do.
Great, over 17. $1 million wealthier. baby.
On FS1. The right gear matters. Introducing the all-new 2019 Ford Ranger. It's the right gear with a terrain management system for this, a bash plate for that, an electronic locking rear differential for, yeah, this. Heading to the supermarket? Get any truck. Heading out here? Get the Ford Ranger. The only adventure gear built Ford tough.
Staying at Hampton for a work trip. When your flight gets in late, it's never too early for coffee. Oh, no. Your new boss seems cool, but she might not be sweatpants cool. Who is that ready this early? It's only 7 a.m. Somebody help me. Close call. Not quite ready to face the day? That's why we're here with free hot breakfast and a warm welcome. Book at Hampton.com for our price match guarantee. Hampton by Hilton.
Save the fancy intro. These two know each other well. For the last 2 years, they both adored League of and trade blows in October. And just slang is only natural. Astros Red Sox. Next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. This is more than a race.
The Coca-Cola 600, here we go.
This is America's favorite weekend. When NASCAR comes home to Charlotte. It's a chance to honor those who've served.
Let's just remember all those who sacrificed everything for us.
And after 600 miles, this is everything and a little bit more. The Coca-Cola 600, May 26th on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Cleaning up the back straightaway with 25 laps to go. Let's check in with Shannon Spake and Jamie McMurray.
Thank you, Mike. So all season long, we've asked when will Hendrick Motorsports come to life, and boy, oh boy, are they putting on a show right now. Let's show you a race recap, show you how we got to this point. 11 drivers had to drop to the back of the field to start the race because of because of inspection issues, but boy, oh boy, were they on the move.
Yeah, and Chase Elliott got all the way to the top 15 by that first competition caution.
That's right. Handling has been quite the issue today.
Yeah, a lot of cars were loose at the beginning of this race. Guys have got to work on their cars. Ryan Blaney, though, he has had an extremely long night.
He has been hanging on to that car all race long. Take a look at this. Denny Hamlin, not the greatest couple weeks. He had problems like this last week at Dover, brought it down pit road because of that right rear.
Yeah, and those guys tried to fix that, but you can never get it fixed as good as when the race starts. And here we see the 41. He's coming into pit road, and clearly Martin Truex Jr. did not know that, got into him. Almost was a big wreck, but he saved it. And now Kevin Harvick, thought he had a loose wheel. Rodney Childers said the wheels weren't loose, the tires were all aired up, so not real sure what happened right there.
He is finally back on the lead lap, and he's got about 24 laps to show what he can do. This was a real game changer right here, though, when Kyle Busch came through. Many pit stalls got penalized because he was about to be the leader. And, of course, business is about to pick up, Mike, as we get ready to go green. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Shannon. Chase Elliott has chosen the inside for the restart. Kyle Busch has overcome his penalty. He will restart 10th. Kevin Harvick is back on the lead lap. He will restart 14th.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen where fresh tires really play out. The temperatures have cooled down. I don't know if they're going to be as big here, but the intensity of what's about to happen is going to ramp up a lot. I see more cautions in our future.
Well, we're going to have 23 laps to go when they take the green here. That's not a lot of time to make something happen.
And I think this is exactly why Chase Elliott chose that bottom lane, because he thought Ricky Stenhouse Jr. could be a good car to push him, but Alex Bowman's going to get to his outside.
Five wide for a moment. Goodness. Tyler Reddick got caught up, dropping back, side by side for the lead.
Mike, that's just an amazing sight. That right there, all those cars racing down into third turn, and they make it.
All 40 cars still running.
And what a battle between teammates right here. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman going at it. And here comes Stenhouse, going to make it 3 wide. He's going to go by both of them.
Yes.
And look at Eric Jones. He's up there on the outside digging. There's some hungry hound dogs up there right now, buddy. I'm telling you.
Kyle Busch has gained 4 spots. He's up to 6th.
And don't forget, Jones came in and got 4 tires, so he's already gotten up there in a hurry. Kyle Busch not far behind him.
Oh, Chase hangs on.
Man.
That was huge. Oh!
And Kyle Busch capitalizes.
Oh, boy.
I think Kyle Busch, Kyle Busch through all that.
Yeah.
I think he got his right rear tire.
Got a tire rub.
That fender coming in on his tire. He's going to have to get to pit road.
He's trying to get down. I don't know if he can or not.
Be ready here, guys. Tires, baby.
Well, now the tire rope seems to have ceased.
Sorry.
Coming to you. Coming to you.
And he's coming in.
All reds right here.
There's where it happened. As Eric Jones, did he pinch him down into Clint Boyer?
Was it the rights or was it the lefts?
Well, he saw Eric Jones was following the 9 of Chase Elliott, but he also knew in his mirror that Kyle Busch was going to try to make that move. Here's a pass for the lead with Alex Bowman.
I tell you, Bowman is after it. He is wanting to win this race.
Well, I'm impressed. Normally, when you are that tight to the outside of a car, it just sucks it around.
And Jones to the bottom. Trying to make something happen. Keselowski to the top, and he's got to run.
Here comes Keselowski on the outside. I mean, we got a race. Oh, no!
Man, the 17 of Stenhouse had to check up when Bowman came up in front of him.
That was almost disaster.
Jimmy Johnson.
Is that Jimmy Johnson?
Yes, it is, with 4 tires.
Where did he come from?
4 tires on the 2 of Keselowski, 4 tires on the 20 of Eric Jones, 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
Man, I'm telling you what, this is what we've been wanting to see right here. These guys are racing their hearts out. And we're only 18 laps.
Alex Bowman trying to win his first race. He's been second 2 weeks in a row. No winless Cup driver has ever finished second 3 races in a row.
I just tell you, Mike, I've just seen such a huge turnaround in that kid in that 88 car. The 2 second-place finishes he's had has lit a fire under that kid.
Can Bowman hold on for the win? And look at how close they're coming up behind him.
Well, one thing we know, if he can stay patient, his car seems to get better and better over the long runs. So even though these guys have a little bit fresher tires, the longer this plays out, I think the more it falls into Alex Bowman's hands. But that 2 car is really strong right now.
That 2 car's got some straightaway speed, too. That's where all those Fords look like I'm really fast on the straightaway.
Kyle Busch went out on track, returned to pit road, goes 2 laps down.
And what Alex Bowman wants to see is the 2 of Keselowski and the 20 of Eric Jones to get racing side by side.
Mike, the good thing about these cars, they're just fast enough to be fun to drive, but they also handle so well because of the speed they're running.
This is the best that I've seen this 2000. And, you know, clean air is king. We know that. And we see these big runs that the 2 and the 20 are getting to the rear bumper of the 88. But if he can find a way, if Alex Bowman can find a way to just make that wake of air hurt that 2 car, he's going to have to do it.
Jimmie Johnson had a big run off turn 2 here. He comes into the fray in 4th place.
One thing I see, the Fords are, the 2 car, for instance, he is just so much faster on the straightaway, but the 88 is better through the corner.
Well, remember, that 88 is that lead car, so he's pushing all that air. All that air is packed on his nose, on his rear spoiler. I think anybody that's able to get in that pocket of air is going to close up.
Watch that 2 go down that back straightaway and close right up to the back bumper of Bowman. They get to the corner, Bowman goes low, the 2 goes high. Got a good run. Keselowski got a pretty good run here.
1 back with you now. Still in line. Half back, still good.
It's going to be lap traffic in about 2 laps.
Oh, the 2 car, Keselowski, almost got in the wall. This is where your spotter is so critical.
Half a lane higher, you're still good by 1.
That's Kevin Hamlin talking to his driver, Alex Bowman.
To make you creep up to keep blocking, then he's going to dive back to the bottom. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're clear by 1.
12 to go. All right, they'll catch the lappers in turn 3.
Yeah, that lap traffic could play a big factor here.
Well, that 2 gets an incredible run off the 2nd turn over there.
Yeah, he's moved up too, so he's got that high line, some of that momentum to help him out.
Traffic hurt him a little bit there, but man, does he get he charges off that 2nd turn. But Bowman has got that 88 car right on the bottom.
Alex Bowman has finished in every possible position in a NASCAR Cup race, 2 through 43.
Now watch this, Mike.
He's just looking for that 1
right.
that he hasn't finished in.
He's boogieing down that back straightaway, I know that.
1 back.
Oh, he left the bottoms.
Half to the bottom, just inside. Just inside.
Yeah, Kevin Hamlin told him. He told Alex Bowman exactly what Brad Keselowski was trying to do, and that showed it right there, but it did not work for Brad.
2.5 back.
Looks to me like Alex Bowman, he likes the bottom lane down here in 1 and 2, and now I think that top group worked pretty good for him down in 3 and 4.
Just running the top, coming back to you 3.5 back. You're clear by 5 up off. Clear by 2 now. Half a lane lower.
These 3 have left Jimmie Johnson. He's now 2 seconds back.
By 2. He's just going wherever you're not. See what you got ahead. You're clear by 2. 9 more. Clear.
You can see the 20 of Eric Jones starting to creep up on the 2 of Brad Keselowski. I think Jones, all night Jones has had a pretty solid car. I know Brad Keselowski's made his better throughout the night. He's got those 4 fresh tires and certainly has the better position on Eric Jones, but I think Eric Jones, he's got something for both of these guys.
I think as long as Bowman doesn't mess, if he can just do what he's doing and continue to run the line he's running, I think he's going to be okay. I don't think the 2 car can get around him.
Yeah, and you saw right there as Alex Bowman, he made that wide entry, make his car as wide as possible, that wake behind him as wide as possible, and his car rolled through the center really good.
Eric Jones could be Bowman's best friend right here if he starts to harass Keselowski, and Bowman can create a little distance.
I think he's going to harass both of them the way it's looking. I mean, he is there now. He's in the draft. He's in the wake.
Or bottom or top. Don't run middle.
They go in the corner. They're all right together.
To the top. You're better either very bottom or very top. You're still clear 1 to the top. Coming back to you. Big run. Works out to the bottom. Half back in line. Make him push you. Still with you in line. We get to the top. He's there. He's there. Still out there with the 20. Way out there at the top. Still out there at the top. Middle's good. Middle's good. 20's with you.
Keselowski.
Wow.
New leader.
I think lap cars played a big role there as they started coming up on some lap cars. I don't know if Alex Bowman's car was to his liking. Allowed Brad Keselowski to take advantage and get that lead.
6 to go. It's not over. Here's 2nd place. Eric Jones challenging.
Boy, all of a sudden the 88 car just looks like something the handle went away all at once, or something happened to it. I mean, he was running such a great race and running the bottom and looking good.
Well, Darrell, one thing that happened was as they charged up on that group of lap cars, Bowman lost that clean air over the nose.
Exactly, Mike.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I think that deficit of not having as fresh of tires was okay as long as he was in clean air. But as soon as he caught any other car, now that he's gotten behind the 2 of Keselowski and the 20 of Erik Jones, you're really starting to see those tires, you know, the age of them play out.
Well, I mean, we talked about the 20 and the 88. They've both been up front most all night. Oh,
Matthew Benedetto, it goes up in smoke.
He's down low. Wow.
Caution.
This changes everything again. Again.
Larry, you must be having fun with this, buddy.
Finally, a trend.
Finally.
Oh, my goodness.
Without you having to talk about it.
Exactly. Oh, no.
Oh.
Daniel Suarez will be the free pass recipient. So we will restart with 14 cars on the lead lap. Jimmy Johnson in the top 5. 2 Fords, 2 Chevys, and Erik Jones Toyota. Boy, if Ricky Stenhouse gets tires in track position, watch out.
Look, right now, I don't count anybody out.
Nope.
I mean, I never would have thought Keselowski had a car that could drive around the leader of the race and maybe sitting in a position to win this thing. I didn't see that coming. Here's Buescher. I mean, he's done an incredible job tonight. Clint Bowyer's up there.
But now those guys up front, like Keselowski, like Jones, I don't see them coming in, right? They've got the track position, a little bit fresher tires, but I see a lot of other cars behind them that are going to come in to get tires. And it's just going to be a 2-lap shootout.
You know, guys, it's going to be an overtime finish because right now we're less than 3 laps to go. We've never had an overtime finish at Kansas in the spring. But, yeah, you know, you don't see anybody right up near the front pitting. I just think for 2 laps. But if you're back there, say maybe Chase Elliott, Buescher on back, come get 4 fresh tires. Well, what have you got to lose?
The question is, are we just going to have 1 overtime?
This is going to get very interesting.
Well, Kyle Busch tied Morgan Shepherd with 11 top 10 finishes to start the season. And like Morgan Shepherd, this streak will come to an end at 11. Kyle is 3 laps down in 31st after he had to come in and repair that tire rub, get new tires.
Well, records are meant to be broken, but there's also a reason why they're records, because they're hard to break.
That's right.
Exactly right.
Pit road is open. A few takers. Starting with Stenhouse.
Stenhouse got
Oh, boy.
Stenhouse, Bowyer, Larson are in. So is Almirola.
Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick. Tyler Reddick. Those are the lead lap cars that pit.
You know what you say now, Mike? Wow.
I say hold your breath.
Wow. There's an old Ken Squire line that comes to mind. Grandma, put your teeth in your pocketbook for this one. Matt.
And Mike, they're going to roll the dice again and feel like this is going to be their best shot now with the number of laps they had on the tires. This could get really interesting.
So it's Keselowski and Jones on the front row. Here's Erik Jones radio.
Restart was bananas, huh? One more, man, to be even better. It was definitely bananas. We were enjoying it here. Lucky.
You know, typically I would say you want to be on that front row. You want to be the leader on these restarts, but I can't say that I feel that way tonight with 550 horsepower under the hood, that huge spoiler on the back. It just seems like the advantage goes to the second row, the third row, some of those that can get big momentum and take advantage of that big hole being punched in the air.
The two, they talk in code all the time. I got to believe it said something about a banana. That must mean it's a slippery slope we're on right here.
So we're going to overtime. 2-lap shootout. If the leader takes the white flag under green, the next flag ends the race. Caution or checker. If the yellow flag waves prior to the leader taking the white flag, then we will have a restart, and we'll do this as many times as is needed.
Yeah, it's that yellow print that says unlimited attempts that I'm a little worried about here. It is going to be crazy. Look right there. Look at that shot. Look how wide that apron is from the white line down to the grass. They are going to use every square inch of that once they get past that start-finish line.
Look, all of the restarts going into third turn, I don't know how they make it. I mean, we've seen them. It looked like they're about 5 wide over there getting into third turn, but they've been able to manage it and get through there. But when you're talking about a win and a chance to move up and gain a spot, all bets are off.
Larry, I like the idea of taking tires, and 6 drivers came in and did that. But with 2 laps to go, none of them are going to start higher than 8th.
Yeah, I just think, as Brad Keselowski has told us, we've all had the conversation. I think on a restart, I don't know about the front row like Jeff and Darrell were talking about, but I think to win this race, you need to be in the front 2 rows right now, especially with an overtime finish.
Keselowski always told me on these kind of restarts, you have to be in the top 5 to have a chance.
And if you think this is exciting, just wait till next Saturday night.
The Cup drivers are looking to see their name in lights. It's the All-Star Weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It'll all start with the Open as drivers battle for stage wins to secure their spot in the big race. Then, the sports best will be bumping and banging their way to the finish to take a $1 million in the All-Star race. Coverage of the Open begins 5 p.m. Eastern, and we'll get you geared up for green flag starting at 7 on FS1.
That's next Saturday night, but right now, we've got a race to finish.
We're going to have races like this every week. I'm bringing my seatbelt and my Hans device and maybe even a helmet.
Some oxygen.
Yeah.
Getting ready for Credit One Overtime from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Win your battles, earn your name. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. Fellas, for my money, best 1.5-mile track race we have seen in a long time.
100%. Pretty darn good. Been a hot night, I can tell you that.
Barbecue.
I'm gonna have me a barbecue stand when I get done with this race.
One to go at the line. Now Keselowski has been to victory lane this year, so has 5th place Chase Elliott, but you've got 8 of the top 10. Those are the only 2 in the top 10 who have won this year. Wow. Talk about hungry hounds.
Oh my gosh. You might ought to tighten down your TV just a little bit.
I think
strap it to the wall.
Strap that baby down.
I think we're about to have one of those who will sit on the Iron Throne and rule the 7 kingdoms moments coming up here.
Is anything like a hot stove?
Let's have a little recap of the 1.5-mile tracks we've been to so far this year. Atlanta, of course, Brad Keselowski currently is our leader. Picked up the win. His Penske teammate, Joey Logano, the defending series champion in Vegas, and then Denny Hamlin in Texas. Hamlin 1 lap down right now. And Logano also 1 lap down, but in the free pass position.
One of the things that I'm seeing that this package likes is a cool racetrack under the lights, because this is our first night race on a 1.5 miles this year.
Well, Mike, we got a Ford lead and we got a Toyota second, but then we got a slew of Chevrolets, and all 88, 48, and 9 teammates there, Hendrick teammates, all in the top 5. So what do you want to do? You want to bet that this is that we'll make it to the checkered flag, or you think there'll be another caution?
Oh, I think there's going to be another caution.
I like the way he said that. I think there's going to be another caution.
I don't even have to think about it. I will place my bet on that. I think they're going to be 5 wide before they ever get to turn 1.
It's going to be big.
All right, there's that Camry XSE speeding away from the field to pit road. Here we go for overtime. Green, white, checker. It's Credit One Overtime.
A great restart by Brad Keselowski.
Yes, sir.
Well, they were only 3 wide.
Wait till they get to the third turn. That's where it gets. I can't believe the way it looks when he gets that third turn.
Jones with a run.
All right, I'd have lost that bet. They made it through 1 and 2.
They're in that third turn, and there they all are, all wadded up.
3 wide for fourth.
Yeah,
Double file for second.
I think as long as these guys are side by side, I just don't think they can get a big enough run. Somebody's going to have
Boyer.
Oh!
Boyer almost drilled Eric Jones.
Yes, he did. I mean, he had Jones in his sights and let him go.
Now Jones with the run off the top.
Keselowski is loving this. When he looks in his mirror and those guys are side by side.
Yeah, they're side by side drafting. That's just opening up the door for the 2 car to do about whatever he wants. If they could get single file, maybe, but just
too late, baby.
Not going to happen.
Brad Keselowski for Team Penske wins in Kansas. Bowman second for the 3rd race in a row.
Guys, waiting, never give up.
That was an amazing run by that team right there.
Great job. Everyone's off behind you. Good job.
30th career victory for Brad Keselowski.
Boyer,
as
not
Boyer
happy.
and Jones.
They're going to have a little body work to do.
I give so much credit to Brad Keselowski on how he was able to not jump the restart, but when he went to the throttle, he leaped out there and got the car all by himself. That was a pretty amazing job.
Timed it just right.
And it is a tradition for Brad to want the American flag for his victory lap. Tied for the most wins this year with 3. Second time he's won at Kansas.
I got to
The
tell you,
118th career win for Team Penske.
I got to tell you, Michael, tonight that was an impressive run by Brad Keselowski as a driver, Paul Wolfe as a crew chief. That team, they did something I didn't think they were going to be able to do tonight, and they pulled it off. Congratulations, guys.
Years old from Rochester, Michigan, former series champ. Keselowski's victory tonight was fueled by Sunoco. Sunoco fueling victories all season long. And this weekend on social media, Brad Keselowski among those drivers, remembering Mike Midler, car owner, who gave Brad, Carl Edwards, and a number of drivers
Kenny Schrader,
that have
Kenny
now
Wallace.
seen great success rides early in their career.
Yep.
Brad having some fun with that burnout, using the banking to his advantage.
Got her crossed up.
Clint Boyer, a solid 5th place finish, but you were none too pleased at the end of this race with Eric Jones. Tell me what you said to him.
It's just, what are you going to do? You turn him right in front of the field and hurt him? I mean, he put you in a bad situation. I lifted for him, cost me 3 spots right there. We should have finished second. Everybody knows that. That was dumb on his part. I mean, next time, I guess that's what he wants, just go down and wreck him in front of the field. But, I mean, you got to run like that. You just don't move up. I should have just wrecked him, I guess, but our rush truck center forward was fast all weekend long. It's God, that pisses me off. But you know, all in all, it was a struggle. It wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be at home. We were fast yesterday in practice and qualifying, things like that. You know, it's just a chaotic inning. So I guess I didn't even know who won, but it wasn't.
Thanks, Clint. Jamie.
And Eric Jones, the other side of that, a lot went on for him tonight, ended up 3rd, but we just heard from Clint Boyer. He came over here and had words with you. What is your take?
I think it was just racing. You know, we're racing hard, and this package really kind of leads into a lot of blocking and a lot of protecting your position. And, you know, we're taking the white flag. I'm not going to give up a lane to give up 2, 3, 4 spots if he would have got the inside. So besides that, I mean, the DeWalt Camry was good. We had a car that could have won. We just got in the wrong spot and at the end of the race, and we weren't able to capitalize on it. So we'll keep moving forward. It's been 2 good weeks. This was the best car we've had in a long time, well, since Texas, and it's just nice to be up in contention and have that shot.
Thanks, Eric. Let's go to Matt Yocum.
first win right here at Kansas for Team Penske. But this one, certainly the e-ticket ride. What an incredible restart.
Thank you. I got to dedicate this win to Mike Mittler. You know, he helped a lot of guys in their career, and I was one of them, and he was local to here, and he passed away yesterday, and just such a huge loss for the NASCAR community. It's one of those unsung heroes that works in the garage, gave his whole life to this sport, and there's so many of those guys and so many of those fans, and it just hurts to see those guys go away. But just a special day for Ford. And a bunch of Worth guys are here today. I know they're in the stands. I'm going to hear you guys. But, man, and happy Mother's Day. What a great day, man. That restart, we just got a great launch. And Alex Bowman, I'll tell you, he's going to win a race. He did a great job today. We had a little bit fresher tires than he did, and we were able to make the move on the outside there, and it just caught everything perfect, and I'm so thankful.
Mr. Mittler, a racer, would have loved the type of racing we saw here tonight. Just how unpredictable was it all night, trying to make the run, make the right move?
He would have. I mean, I'm a little biased. I'm going to go park this thing in Victory Lane, but this was an awesome race today. This rule package is really made for tracks like Kansas Speedway, and I think the fans saw a great one today. Thanks, man.
Let's take a look at the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series standings. The winners list has not changed. But now Keselowski joins Kyle Busch with 3 wins apiece. Harvick continues to lead those who have not yet won. And the bump spot is Jimmy Johnson, who came out with a 6th place finish tonight. Alex Bowman 12th in points. Here's Jamie.
Alex Bowman led 59 laps tonight, and for the 3rd straight week in a row, you bring it home second. What was it like? You were so optimistic on the radio.
Yeah, I'm not very proud of myself on lane choice there at the end. Just made some bad decisions and really shouldn't have ever given the 2-car a chance at it. But, just made some bad calls there through lap traffic and got tied off, had to lift, and then the 2 was able to drive around us. But really proud of everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. Our race cars are so much better than what we started the year with. And Exalta, Nationwide, Lumar, Valvoline, everybody that lets me get to drive a race car for a living. Really appreciative. Wish we were staying here with 3 wins in a row, and things could have gone differently, and that could be the case. But we'll keep digging next week and try to go get in the All-Star, go win the All-Star, and then go try to win the 600.
Alex Bowman brings it home second once again.
Sorry. Ready? Yep. Well, Chase Elliott, a solid 4th place run. At one point in the night, it looked like you might actually be the car to beat. You had to battle back after a little bit of trouble at the end of the race there.
Yeah, our Napa Chevy was good, just not great. And the way those restarts were there at the end, it was just hard to get away. And you need, hard to break free, on a restart. Alex and I both, I felt like kind of had that problem. But a solid effort. It's great to be racing a teammate for the lead. I think that's signs of progress. So hopefully we can keep going in that direction. And hate to give it away, to somebody else when he and I were pacing it there at the end. But it happens, and it was racing, and we'll just work harder and try to beat him next time.
2 Fords, 1 Toyota, 7 Chevrolets in the top 10. Brad Keselowski celebrates in Kansas. Back with more after this. Brad Keselowski has won at Kansas. Ford over Alex Bowman's Chevrolet and Eric Jones' Toyota, the top 3. Brad joins us now from Victory Lane. You weren't born with that silver spoon. You didn't come to this sport with a suitcase full of dollars. How did you attract the attention of a Mike Mittler, a James Finch, a Roger Penske?
Yeah, just this was a grit day, and that's what I've been known for my whole career, is just never give up. You know, we were behind big time with just 40 or 50 to go, Mike. The yell came out, we were on pit road, we were trapped a lap down. We dug out of that hole, and then the restarts, a couple opportunities. The holes were there, I took it, and it stuck. And next thing I knew, I was running second or third behind Alex Bowman. I was able to make just the right move at the right time to clear him. Alex was super, super strong, and he got a little tight off of turn 2, and I'd run the wall and glued to it and built this big run. But it was just a gritty race today, and you know, that's been part of my career, and I'm so thankful for guys like Mike and for them to, you know, give me the opportunities. Roger Penske, I'm sure he's watching tonight. Congratulations on the win earlier today as well. But this was just wow. I'm so thrilled to be in Victory Lane to honor Mike and his family, Bev, and friends, Bill, their whole team. They just seem surreal. I know he was watching up above and giving me a little push on that last restart.
Great job tonight. Go celebrate.
Great restart.
Thank
Congrats.
you.
Good job, Brad.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
A big night for Brad Keselowski, for Team Penske, and for Ford. Let's join Shannon Spake.
Thank you so much, Mike. What a great night for Brad Keselowski and that team. Crazy, because, I mean, the class of the field all night long was Hendrick Motorsports and of course, Stewart-Haas Racing. And I know that Brad Keselowski got the win tonight, but I think the biggest victory is for the team I just mentioned, Hendrick Motorsports.
Well, we've been talking all week. We talked about it on Race Hub. This being a mile-and-a-half track, the way they've been running lately in practice, qualifying in the race, that this would be a good test for them. And you know what? They passed the test. I know we didn't talk a lot about Jimmy Johnson, but to get that 6th place finish, at one point he was about to go a lap down near the end of stage 2. During all that cycle of green flag pit stops when the confusion, he didn't even know where to line up for him to come back out and finish in the top 10. Great day for Hendrick Motorsports. Great day for Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, and a month ago, if you'd have said that Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott were going to be fighting for the win at Kansas, I think most people would have said you were crazy. But it's incredible to see the turnaround that HMS has had over the past month and a half. And how about Alex Bowman? I mean, 2 seconds in a row, second again tonight. Man, just fighting for the lead. It was so much fun to watch him. I'm so happy for him. And again, we can't talk enough about the break in the season came at the perfect time for Alex Bowman and the 88 team.
Yeah, I know that Penske got the win, but we didn't talk about Joe Gibbs Racing or Penske pretty much the entire night in terms of being up front. We saw a totally different group of drivers in the top 5 and really in the top 10. What does that say?
We kind of suspected this. This was the 4th race at a mile-and-a-half track with this aero package, and we knew in the beginning that someone was going to get their arms around it, like Joe Gibbs and Team Penske. We are now a third of the way through the entire 2019 season, and I think we're getting exactly what we expected. Teams are starting to catch up a little bit now.
And the other thing tonight, to me, the racing was really good. Probably the best mile-and-a-half we've had all year long. We talked about that we thought this package was going to be the best at this type track because of multiple grooves, the fact that there wasn't a lot of tire fall-off, cool temps tonight. And Jeff, DW, and Mike all said it on the broadcast. I mean, it was some of the best racing we've seen all year long. And when it came down to those last few restarts, we were sitting here. I was sweating, stressing out for all those guys because you know what they're going through.
Especially when the caution came out, right? Because Brad Keselowski had it won, and then he had to go out there and really take control of it with that final restart. But you got to give a lot of credit to Alex Bowman, and I love how he was disappointed with the second place finish. Right, disappointed with the second place finish. All right, Winners Weekend tomorrow on NASCAR Race Hub. Or on Monday on NASCAR Race Hub. You can check that out at 6 o'clock on FS1. Coming up next, Unrivaled, Earnhardt versus Gordon. Then, of course, next week, the big race, the All-Star event. We will be right here getting you ready for that race, as well as the Coca-Cola 600 the following weekend. Thanks so much for being here with us tonight. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Everyone enjoy your Sunday.